Morning, guys. All right, let's get this going here. So we should be streaming for quite a bit today. We got to finish a pinup. I talked about it, I think, on Tuesday when we were streaming. So we'll see how it's going. Also, the little guy will be running around in the background, so we'll see, we'll see how crazy it gets with noise and what have you. All right. Icon, hello. How's it going? Hello, hello. Okay, let's see what we got here. What could I bring over here to show you guys? Okay, so these are going to look like, so you guys know, this is in the older style that we're working in. So you guys can get excited for that, for those that are into this older look. But I don't think we'll be doing as fancy of a background. We're doing actually a space background for this one, which will be pretty cool because this older, I keep saying older style, but the way I used to draw, like this, a little bit more traditional, I suppose. Don't really get to do too many Kirby dots when we were working this way, but this one that we're doing, the guy is in space. So we get to do a whole bunch of Kirby stuff, which will be a lot of fun. But this is the flow we're going to go in. It takes a little bit of time, not too long. These pinups, they go pretty quick. I've been doing them for a while now, so there's like a routine. Do this, do that, then eventually you'll get to here kind of thing. So here's a thumbnail. The colors, they're not going to stay the same. These are just more for placeholders, just so that when I send it to the client, he can see what my scribbles kind of look like, you know? I think we will just make this a little bit bigger, because I really want to make sure that the character... Oh, sorry, for those that don't know, this is... the client here has asked, he wants his groomsmen to be superheroes, so we're doing pinups of all the groomsmen here. This one's going to be a little bit more interesting, because this guy is like a... I think he said he's something in the military or whatever. But, so this is the costume. It feels to me, like I had to design them all, so it's not like... And they're quick little scribbles, because I don't want to spend too much time making, like, perfect designs. I don't think that's appropriate necessarily for what this is. It's just to convey an image, right? Or an idea. And this one here, it's like... I don't know. You know, it's fun. I'm gonna be able to tighten it up once we get into the tight line art, but it's like practicing suits and stuff. You know, like I wanted to make sure it has like a retro feel to it. It almost feels a little bit like, I don't know, like submarine kind of feel. You know, like an aqua suit or something that you might go underwater with. And I was looking at some other things from like the 50s and 60s, 70s concept art just really quickly, and it's funny, I was seeing a lot of people using like this kind of idea for anybody in space. It's like space is water, you know. It's kind of funny. But anyway, so what we need to worry about though is let me actually duplicate this window, move it over to the second monitor here, that way I can still see what the hell I'm doing over here. So what are you guys up to today? It's Friday. You guys got any plans for the weekends? The weekends. The weekend. Not much going on my side here. Alright, so we got our thumbnail. We're going to do our roughs here. This is I don't know. I like this. This is more like the fun part for me. Find a brush. We'll use a medium one. And all we're doing is just like tightening this up, right? Making sure that things make sense. We'll put the costume on over top of this guy. It's not a big deal. But definitely need to make sure he has proper anatomy and stuff. And one of the things too is, right, like a lot of these superheroes for these people, you know, it is real people, and I don't like doing caricatures that much because, you know, I don't think you'll ever be able to get it to as close as what people know that they look like. You know, like I've done a few for people where it's like, hey, can you draw my kid or myself or something like that, and I'll show it to people and they'll see things that I don't see, and it's like, oh, I guess that really doesn't look like that person, you know? But anyway, with this kind of thing, I want to still make sure that we can see this guy's face, even though he's going to be in like a spacesuit. School is done. That's good. That's good. For like a break, or is it more of a... You mean just for the day? Now you get the weekend off, yeah? Also got to design some sort of space rifle. So I'm just going to BS. You know, we'll do something. I like to inject a little bit of Kirby-esque kind of things in here. So I don't know what we'll put in here. But that Kirby language is just so strong with this stuff. So we'll put like giant big shapes and stuff. We'll figure that out. Get this guy's upper torso here. And you know what? I was thinking of putting his other hand up here, you know, kind of like a marksman rifle. But when it's, oh, for the weekend. Right on, right on. Let's put his like hand down here. That way we can really put like a big chunky shape. Have this go here. You get your thumb or something. Right, I'm just gonna flip it just so I can kind of see a little different with my eyes. Try to figure out the perspective for this thing too. Come here maybe. We'll bring the legs. I wanted to have like those big, chunky Mega Man feet. Those are always fun. I gotta be careful too. I've noticed the last few that I've done for this guy, he's been really great to work for too, or work with, I should say. Is like since I've been doing my style's changed now, right? So it's like a little different, and I'm always fighting it when I'm drawing this stuff because it's like I want to go in there and incorporate certain things, but when I first started working on this for the guy, I was drawing like where you'll see will end up going, or what I showed you at the beginning of the stream. It's tough, man, to sometimes just go flip flop, deciding which way you're gonna go with something, and then like having to go back and draw it in a different way. It's tough. It's tough. Also, I'm gonna bring this guy. I hit puberty there for a second. I'm going to put this guy's leg this way. I had it back here, a little bit more dynamic, I think, that way. But if we put it this way, I think what I want to do is we're going to put maybe like those little Iron Man boosters back here. This will help with our, you know, Kirby dots kind of thing. You just get some extra motion in there. At least that's the way the guy can move around in space, you know. Icon. I think you do, Icon too. I should say, I gotta be honest. So the last few videos I've made, I know you've left posts, and it's weird because like you'll get like bots that reply to videos. You know what I mean? And yours kept getting flagged, and I don't know if it was because you're leaving like 1 or 2 word sentences or something like that, but you were getting flagged hard, man. So when we started the stream today and you're here, I appreciate it. I'm like, oh, is it a bot? Is it a bot that's just replying? But no, I appreciate it. Wait, how you got your art style? Honestly, and I believe this now, and I guess I always did before too. It's like your art style, in my belief, is just like a collection of all the things that you're interested in, and how you channel it through your hand. So like you might look at, I'll just say Jim Lee. Most people know Jim Lee, or Akira Toriyama from Dragon Ball. Those two I always feel like everybody kind of knows. Let's say you wanted to draw like one of them. You'll do your best to draw like them, you know, and you'll look at their art and copy it and stuff like that, but it'll look a little different. Unless you just do everything in your power to make it look 100% like that person. So you'll get a little bit like them, and then the more you keep doing that with other artists, and then other interests you see, right? Like sometimes the way you draw anatomy is, we'll say, incorrect or something like that, right? And you'll start incorporating cool little tricks that you find into your own thing. So I would say that's pretty much the only way, or one of the major ways that you could figure out your own style. For me, anyway, the way that we'll be drawing today, this is like a combination of. There was an artist that was working for Marvel that took me under his wing, and he was showing me a lot of stuff, and it really branched my my vision, or just like how I was seeing art. Before he was around, I was drawing more like manga and anime kind of stuff, because video games are what really got me into drawing. And comics are one of those things that are as awesome as they are. You're able to just do like everything, you know. Like if you if you got a cool story you want to tell or something like that, comics will let you do it. You don't need anybody else. You can just do it all on your own. And through that, it's like, okay, cool. You start going like, well, I'd like to make a career out of this, right? So I started following that, and then meeting him was really cool because he showed me a bunch of stuff, like I said. But after a while, and I think this is like the last, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years, I just started getting really tired of it drawing this way that you'll see right now. I like it, you know. Don't get me wrong. I know I'll get a pretty cool look out of it, and I'm happy with it. But it's just like, I don't know. I think I just wanted to start trying something new and seeing if I could get back, or maybe bring in some of those influences and stuff that I had that got me interested in drawing in the first place. It's like not really worrying too much or at all about, in my mind, what a house style is, like a Marvel house style. Even though I know, again, that's all in my head. I put that on myself. But anyway, so I started looking around, and I'm a big fan of Jack Kirby now more than before, and I think it's just, it came down to this time when I was just reading. There's a Marvel Unlimited app. I don't know if you guys have ever used that at all, but they got a lot of retro comics on there too. And I was just looking at the old stuff, and stories are super simple and stuff. But I don't know. I think I just resonated more with them, and I didn't grow up with those comics at all. Those comics are just old things. I was definitely into like some Image, mostly Spawn and stuff like that. When Joe Mad came around with Battle Chasers, that opened my eyes because it was more like a video game than a comic to me. It was like superhero Final Fantasy. That was great. So I don't want to get too much into that, because the other thing too is like with this stuff, it's like it can get detailed, and I don't know. I guess I'm just sort of bored with just drawing things that look semi-realistic. At least this Kirby, I always call it this Kirby stuff that I'm doing right now, but I don't even know if that's appropriate anymore. I'm taking things that I like that he does, like his rendering and compositions and the power in his form and stuff. I would argue that's about it, but I mean, I know people could definitely find something else in there that I do. But it's almost like you'll find in a second here, as we start drawing this, it's like the freedom in the shapes. Corey Lewis is another guy I highly recommend you guys check out. Shark Knife is probably his most popular thing he did. Still a great guy, a great artist. He poses all the time still. But just using shapes like here. Let me pull something up. It's a little easier to always do these kinds of things with examples, Actually, okay, this is one I just posted. A lot of people seem to dig it too, which is, always awesome when people like the things you post. But let me just bring this down here. So if you look here, it's like these weird, maybe not weird, maybe, that might not be it, but like this simplicity of just drawing. This would be a good example. So the hilt on his sword, where it's like a cross, right? It's like you can get these weird like triangular shapes and stuff. Whereas if I was drawing in like what I'm doing now, and you'll see once we get into the tight line art, it's similar to this, and you guys may not know it, but when I'm drawing it, I feel it. It feels much different. The skulls, like these, are not really well drawn, but in my mind, when it's with everything, it gels, and it's very, I don't know, it's hard to say, but like these odd shapes, and then slapping in some black in there, just, I don't know, it gives it something that I feel like I'm not able to do when I was drawing this way, and I miss it. This is, in my mind, as I draw, it's like this is the actual creative freedom part. I talked about this, I think, last week too. Is like using this language to draw has just opened up so much stuff for me, and it just feels like so refreshing, man. I no longer feel like, like anatomy matters and stuff. You can't just draw things poorly, but I don't need to worry and be as precise as I feel like I need to be when I was drawing this way. If that makes any sense, but okay, so we're gonna go in here. We're gonna get that. Just give me 1 second. What do we got here? Over here, and just have that book I talked about before, the Jack Kirby Pencils and Inks. I like to flip through it when it comes time to do things like this, because it just lets me sort of look at his designs for things, like especially this mechanical stuff that we're gonna do. That's the next thing I want to really work on is start incorporating more of that into what we're doing. But it just lets me see things that my brain's not coming up with. Like the way he draws guns and stuff that, they look like a gun, but they probably don't make a whole lot of sense. But that's the stuff I want. I want to see what I can swipe from him in a good way with that stuff. Well, could try something here. Let's try. Maybe we will go with like this sniper rifle kind of feel to it. I think what we'll do is we're gonna flare this out a little bit more. We'll get like these little like ribbons and stuff, and because it's a gun, right? You need an iron sight of some kind. So we just sort of line that up. I guess what we could do too is we could add like a little bit of what's it called? Look for some wacky shapes. It's so hard to try to draw like this, man. That's why I think what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna take maybe not a break. Definitely gonna keep doing pinups, but start incorporating more of this technical stuff. I want to get better at it. I want my brain to be able to look at this kind of stuff and like naturally want to see some of this stuff, or at least how to start it. You guys know what it's like with what's it called? Like when you would learn how to draw anatomy and stuff like that. Like you'll watch or you'll look at other artists and you'll see something that they're doing, and you go, okay, so if I start with like the cylinder for the head or a circle for the head, you know how eventually you'll get to where you want to go. I want to get that way with this too. All right, so I'm gonna definitely put like a giant, chunky clip or something down here. But I know he likes to use like a lot of straight shapes too, so we'll go something like this. I don't know. It's a good okay, I guess. I don't know. Icon, what screen protector do you use? That paper sounded just great. Oh, this is this is this what you're talking about? Let me see. This good stuff, or even this. It's actual paper. I'm flipping through a book, trying to get the Kirby stuff. Like I say, I always like to flip through this stuff. Not all the time, but like especially right now when we're trying to figure out some tech, just because it'll help me get me in the mind space or the headspace to get there. Hey Joe, how's it going? What are we working on? We are working on a pinup for a client. He wants his groomsmen. Let me put this away. He wants his groomsmen to be superheroes. So we're doing like 1 or 2 of these a month. We're getting at the tail end here. I think we got 2 more after this, maybe 1 more. It's going pretty quick. Alright, so we're going to go here. Guess you'd need another iron sight up here too, wouldn't you? I don't know how guns work. You just pull the trigger, right? And like destruction happens. Maybe we'll bring this out a bit like that. I don't know. Let's just have fun with it. I always like doing this too. I saw Kirby do this in some of his make sure at least the perspective is kind of somewhat. but like this, I don't know, this giant crossed iron sight. I love it. It's like retro comics, man. It's just so good. There's like a bend happening in this gun. I don't like it. See if we can kind of straighten it out. I will break out a ruler too. I should say too, guys. So I'm working on a Cintiq here, and when I was messing around on the iPad Pro as well, I've really been getting into using circle stencils that you would use on like paper, like a legit circle stencil, and even a ruler, and just slapping it on the screen and just using it. I find it's just so much faster. I guess it depends on the app you're using, like Procreate and stuff. I think you can just hold down, like make a line like this and hold it, and then it'll automatically like straighten it. That's pretty cool. What do we got here? Power Cord, welcome, my man. How's it going? If I can't see your face, we are not really streaming. No, it's the fourth dimension kind of streaming, man. Charles, welcome, buddy. I haven't seen your YouTube videos for a while now. Have you always been making videos, or did you just take a break? I did take a break when my son was born. Probably, I'd say almost like for a year. I do throw videos up. Streaming hasn't really happened. I'm trying to sort of fix that in a way. I just don't want to commit to something like for you guys to go, oh, it's every, you know, Monday or Tuesday. Even though right now I'm trying for every Friday or every second Friday. It's just a complicated thing, and I know nobody's gonna really gonna remember it, but it's just been tough to stream. Let's see if I can maybe bring some of this up here. I don't know what the hell we're doing, but yeah, we're still making videos and stuff like that. Life's a little different now. I got a little guy, in a good way too. It's like I don't always want to be drawing all the time too. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy to draw. It's a therapy, I've said before, as well as, you know, it's a way to get your ego out there a little bit and just, you know, get creative, just like a little outlet. But especially towards the beginning of last year, when COVID hit, and I had lost my job with that, I was really pushing this stuff. So because I was trying to get like, okay, I need money, so let's keep streaming to people, you know. But and even comics, it's like my interest in comics has changed. I'm not really what's a good way of saying it, like I think I've told you guys a bunch before. I don't even really read comics anymore. They're kind of interesting and kind of, you know, I don't know. I'd rather do other things, to be honest with you. Uh, but I like drawing, and sometimes they match up. Sometimes drawing stuff and drawing comics, okay, works out. They just take so much time. You know, I'd rather just do like a pinup or something. That way I can still do other things, like, and I know this might sound, you know, awful, but like I'd rather play like a video game sometimes, or a role playing game, or a card game. Things have definitely changed. I would have fought that mindset so hard before. Like, oh, if you got time to play these kinds of things, like you got time to work on your career, don't you? Blah blah blah, that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I'm not there anymore. I'm sure I might get back to it. One sec. Joe, I like the perspective rulers and clip. Yeah, no, they're really good. Like, if it's like a background or something, I'll totally use them. I should say too, I feel like you guys need to help me with this. I need a better word than to just say my Kirby style, because I feel like I'm swiping the guy's skill when really I'm just trying to emulate him, and it's not very good. But I've showed this before too as an example. This like in this Doctor Doom one, this background, like it's, jeez, look at these lines, man. They are, wow, you know. Look at this, even the perspective. This line should go straight up like that, and I'm just freehanding the whole thing. But it's cool because it lets me make this stuff quick, and I think it jives with everything else. So It's another thing that I'm digging, man, is that I don't have to use rulers with this new style. Sometimes I will with circles. Sometimes I won't. Like, I don't even know if I did them here on Dr. Doom's. Let me just turn a bunch of crap off. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's just a freehand circle. You can tell when you look at it, but when it's done, not really. You know, it just adds to the game for the speed part of it. But yes, Clip Studios rulers, they are awesome. But today we'll definitely be using rulers because this style here that I'm working in isn't the Kirby one, and it requires. Maybe it doesn't require, but I think it's expected, at least from the client, to have a little bit perceived polish might be the way to say it. I think now that I'm just looking at this too, guys, 1 second. I'm just gonna move this guy over just a bit, just a skimmage. His elbow was getting a little too close to the edge there. Catch up with the guys. That's out of. How old are you? I am. How old am I? 38. Yes, old as hell now. I actually have to think about it. 38. I will be 39, I guess, at the end of the year then, right? 2021, even? Yeah. So we're almost 40, man. What in the hell is happening? Charles, okay, first off, yeah, man. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, I don't know, Charles, if you have kids or not. I'm still fresh with mine, but yeah, it's a massive change. It's a great change, but it's a massive one. You're going to commission me for stuff? Okay. All right. Better be art. None of this kind of stuff. All right, here we're gonna turn this black, and then I think like I say, these go pretty quick. They don't take too much time. This is where all the time goes, is trying to make sure everything, your rough stage here is sound. Once you get into the line art and the inking, you can fix a lot of mistakes and stuff like that. You guys can't see the costume. Okay, so it's gonna be something like this. I'll be adding some details and try to streamline some stuff, but generally this is where we're gonna be going. Okay, so it's old school space, so he's got to have a giant dome head because that is cool. Now let me see what this gentleman looks like. So again, I don't like doing caricatures, so I try to find. I mean, I know the client's going to give this to his friends or his groomsmen, so people will assume that's them that I drew. But I'll try to put like a little bit of effort into making it look a little bit like him. Like this guy, clearly he's got like a squarish head. So like a strong jaw, strong chin. Typical superhero stuff. I'm not going to make him smiling. Looks more like the Punisher if he's not. He's got bigger eyes, he's got big eyebrows, right? So make sure we're going to have those thick boys in there like that. He's going to have that haircut. Now, most of this is probably going to get cut off, but I just need that. We'll figure out where we're going to put his eyeballs in a second. Okay, so this costume. So we need this in the front, right? Let's figure out where the front of this would be. I almost have this like a light bulb now. What if we bring this down like that? Actually, you know what? Let's open this up a bit so you can see more of his head. It's starting to look like a heart. We go like this, maybe. Yeah. Look at that. There we go. Sweet. As old as you have hair. Exactly. Oh man, thanks for the super chat. Let me see if I can do something about this. I'll read your thing in a second here, brother. I think Donald DeLay was here before, and okay, yeah, I will, man. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for popping in. Anyway, yeah, sorry. I was just catching up there. I started using Clip Studio Actions too. Really great. Oh, thank you, man. I use them as a lot of my Cyberpunk Comic Star Circuit. Oh, awesome. How's the funding going, by the way? I gotta, I know like Donald DeLay. I bring him up a lot too. He's a really cool guy. He's offered a lot of advice. He seems like he's a sound guy. Um, is this character kind of thick? Oh, I hope so. I hope so. They got to be thick. They're superheroes, right? But yeah, Donald was here, and he made a super chat as well. I don't think I have anything. Can I refund? Let me see. Like I appreciate it. I'll check it out. Maybe I can refund it, or I gotta or I gotta set something up. I'll figure it out. Only reason I bring it up is like I don't know if I have something set up, even though it's enabled. But I've never gotten any money from super chats, so I don't know what the hell's going on. So when we're done, I'll either refund you or I'll look into something too. Maybe I don't have a setting turned on. I don't know. But thank you. I do appreciate it regardless. And thank you as well for getting those Clip Studio actions. Glad it's helping you out, man. That stuff I got from, I learned about was from Freddie E. Williams. We haven't talked about his stuff in a long time. But the DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawing Comics. I still think there's a lot of value in that today. Even though there's a lot of stuff you can get for free now, I think what he offers in that book is just good if you make comic books, especially coming from somebody. And I don't mean me, I mean him. Come from somebody that does so much comic book work digitally, even if like you don't like his art, which is understandable. You don't gotta like everybody's work, but the workflow from a professional that works a lot, and like how he sets things up, or even how he structures out his day and stuff, or how to break down how many pages to do a week and blah blah blah. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. And I've said it before too. Like at my local, I know now it's not real life anymore because of COVID, but like at what's it called, the library. I remember seeing the book at my local library. You could rent out. It was awesome. So even if you can't afford it, definitely worth it to see if you can track it down at a library. Like I wonder if there's like something I could check right now, Joe. You know what I mean? Uh, to see, it might even be because I get these notifications, and this is probably the answer. I have a sneaking suspicion it is. Like, so I'm in Canada, and I keep getting emails, or I've gotten them, and they've slowed down. But I get emails saying like you need to set up tax things if you're not in America or something like that, and I just haven't done it. So I'm assuming that's what it is. And that's why you guys don't get ads on any of my videos or anything like that, or you shouldn't be, because I usually turn them all off. Because I'm not getting any revenue. What's the point, right? Why make you guys have to sit through all that? Okay, so I think we're gonna have to put some hair in here. I guess more of his head's gonna get shown than I thought was going to get shown. Maybe we could bend this a little bit more. I feel like this is just getting a little too crunchy up here. Funding is going great. Actually, Freddie is a mentor. Oh, awesome! Small world. Look at that. So then you know what I'm saying when I say the guy is an awesome guy. At least he seems, when we've talked, to be a really, really nice guy. All right. So we'll go there. We'll figure out the rest of this. His suit. Let's bring the crotch maybe like here. At least so everything doesn't look too crunched up there. And I'm giving him the most super legs in the world, or simple legs in the world, because it's easier. And we're going to give him the big old boots. I'm just going to draw a line in here, just so I kind of know where the center is. So he's going to look a little stubbish. So to fix that, I'm hoping to do is let's bring this leg right up close. I'll have to see how this looks. I might not. This might get a little too pushed. We'll try to fix this up. So come here. Find that Kirby square knee I used to hate. Now I just love it. That might be a little too pushed. That's too pushed. a little better. I think what the problem here is it looks too feminine. Or maybe it's just the super stubby legs. Alright, what I'll do is I'm gonna maybe we'll put in some divots here to just sort of break this up a little bit. Give him a little bit of a calf, maybe even on this side. Like that. Just to make this feel a little bit more, I don't know, there's stuff to look at. Alright, and the last thing is I think I might even just shrink these up a little bit more. That way it looks like his upper half is a little bit more closer to us. I think that's better. Yeah, that's better. And we might just rotate this a bit. I want to make sure I have enough room for that blast, but we can even make them a little bit bigger too. Perfect. Perfect. Maybe? That lag might be bugging me a bit. Let's see, Icon, can you please make Skillshare classes? English speech. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could. I don't know. I don't think I have the energy to do it, to be honest with you. But I've always said this too. Like, if you're coming to the streams, and I obviously would like to stream more. But if you're here now, or if whatever, if you got questions, feel free to jam them. That goes for anybody. I don't have to put everything behind a paywall, right? Like, if you got a question and I can quickly answer it, I'll feel free to ask it, and I'll do my best to answer it. If I'm like super crunched for time, I might say, I'm sorry, I can't, but, and if it's not something overly complicated, like if it's not like how do you draw a comic page or composition of a comic page, like that, I could understand what you're saying about getting it a little bit more Skillshare. And I would argue too. I mean, I've got how many? Well, we've almost got 10 years on YouTube now, so there's like a shitload of videos. I have to imagine a question you have I've already dealt with at some point, but navigating through all that is probably a nightmare. What type of software am I using? Thanks, Brian. I like the pink donut too, man. I am using Clip Studio Paint. I used to use Photoshop, but I only use Photoshop for work now. Clip Studio I don't know, it just seems smoother to me. I think drawing in it is far superior, especially if you're doing comic work or line art. Alright, finally, I should probably put some aliens in here, huh? What do we do? I put like these little campy four-legged somethings. I don't know. I think I'll just wait until we draw this guy, and then we'll figure out where we're going to put them compositionally. Not a big deal. Alright, so we're going to make a lines folder. I'm going to make another folder, and I'm just going to put hero. I don't know the guy's name. Put that inside of there, and we will lower the opacity on that boy. Make a new layer, and then we're just going to start doing some tight line art. Let's bring that down a little bit more. I don't know if you guys can even see that. Apologize if all you're looking at right now is a white screen. Line art. Where are we going here? Very thin lines. Jeez. Alright, we're definitely going to need some reference up over here. Let me just catch up with you guys here. Try to keep the money if it's not too complex to figure out. Well, again, thank you, man. The only reason I want to refund it is if I can get it, I'll take it. Thank you so much. If I'm unable to get it, like turn it on or whatever I need to do, and I'm able to give it back to you, I obviously want you to have it. I don't want just money people send be in limbo. That doesn't make sense. So it's just work on my end that I got to figure out how to do. So I do thank you. Okay, yeah. Again, Icon or anybody else. If you guys have any questions, feel free to throw them out there. How do I pronounce Monstrositus? That's a sick name, Monstrositus. I need to write that down somewhere. I'm putting it. Yeah. Okay, I'm putting it up here. Sorry, dude. How'd you spell it? Monstrositus. Oh man. Tus. Man, I don't know. There's something sick about that name. Thank you. I'm stealing that. Uh, is this a commission? It's a commission, and I realize people are going to pop in all the time here. So, real quick, once this is done, we're going right to full colors too with this, guys. Ideally, this should be wrapped up in probably an hour or two, probably two, because we do have to ink. But I'll show you like how these look. They're very simple. Maybe we'll just bring this one up because it's kind of similar. It's just a gentleman's groomsman that he wants to give them as gifts. Them designed as superhero. Them designed as superheroes. So what I do is I'll do a thumbnail. I already sent this as a client. Uh, I do a rough breakdown, kind of like what you're looking at, to give you a feeling of what I'm thinking it'll be like, and I'll give a little written description, and then a character design. Character designs are super simple. I don't even know if I have them in here. Yeah, like I have a body template. I'll show you this. You guys might actually get a kick out of this because if you guys are doing any kind of concept work for yourself or otherwise, do something like this. Save yourself some time. Let me just turn all this off. Oops. So I have like a. Oops. Oh my goodness. Normally it's not that hard. Wow. Okay. Anyway, it's this body here, and I just duplicate it 3 times, at least for this and most projects. And you can just draw a costume over top. Oh my goodness. You know what I mean? And you get the vibe. I could throw the color on here. It won't look 100% like this. You will probably tighten it up. Anyway, so I get all that good stuff, send it to the client. He lets me know what he likes. And then the process, like you're going to see right now, is the thumbs we already did. Then we break this down, right? We're getting the roughs. I'm trying to figure out where shapes are, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to go into the line art. Line art is going to look like this. Super simple, clean, right? This is, if you go back to any of my videos before this year, this is how I used to draw all the time. And then we're going to slap inks on. And inks are actually, in this, they're very simple. You're just basically beefing things up, adding little variations. There's no heavy shadows. It speeds things up. That's why I'm saying it goes quicker. And then we just slap the color on. You can do a lot of your shadow work with just color. And the color too, guys, I mean, it's simple. I've got like one layer set to multiply, as you can tell. I might duplicate that to get even deeper shadows. One layer for highlights. And we'll do it together today. I don't know how many of you will be sticking around, but we're going to do the same with this one. And that's pretty much it. That's it. When these are done, I still have some more art that I have to do today. Hopefully I can stream it. We'll see how it goes. That will be in the newer style. It'll be some Patreon commissions. And those Patreon commissions, they look a little bit more like... Let me just bring this up here. Patreon. I think Alex just did one for... What do we do? Yeah. He wanted like a chibi Doctor Doom one month. And then Green Ranger we showed. It's this kind of stuff. It's how I'm drawing now. A little bit more punchy, a little more free-flowing with the lines. Doctor Doom was pretty fun. So, this kind of stuff. So, fun day. Fun day. But we need to draw, don't we? Jason, what's up, man? For those legs, if you feel like they're too feminine, toss some masculine objects like ammo, pack, grenades, whatever. And you know what? Good idea. I'll toss some stuff on there. Thanks, man. You're welcome, Monstrositus. Fuck, that's such a good name. Well, you better make that book fast. Monstrositus. I don't know why, man. Just like something sick about that name. Can't get it out of my head. Okay, let me move the reference. Sorry if I doubt this guy will ever watch this video, but it's pretty uncomfortable having your face. Like I said, I like to move pretty quick with this stuff. I don't want to spend too much time here. Because a lot of it, again, that Freddie E. Williams book, DC Comics Guide to Digitally Drawn Comics, one thing it showed me, and it took me a while to really commit to it, is this stage right here with the line art, is to go quick, because when we get to the inking, you'll see the thing with digital is you're able to ink with white, right? Like it's not just black, so you can fix lines, line weights, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to make this guy look too old here, but he definitely has some thicker eyebrows. So we gotta make sure we get those bad boys. And his hair. So he's kind of got like this wavy stuff. Most of this will get cropped off. some more of that up there. Cool. Okay, so that's, again, when I get in here, I know I'm gonna ink up this stuff like this, so he'll look a little bit more angry. I'll turn that off. I think I want to get this gun out of the way. I'll make a new layer. Bolster him up with the fatness of combat. I like that. Thanks, Joe. You got thousands of them? Okay, well then you're not going to miss Monstrosities too much. You're an idea engine. I know it. I'm so stealing that one. I'm going to make a guy named Monstrosities. It's got the right level of comic book name as well as like high fantasy. That's why I like it so much. Monstrosities works in like World of Warcraft. It works in X-Men or Avengers. I'm stealing it. Okay, let's do the Kirby stuff right now. Even though I know I said it's probably not appropriate for this, but all of his guns, they always have a circle. They don't have, there's no ellipses with this stuff. So I'm just going to use my circle template. There we go, as you can see. Digital being as precise as it is. Look how jank that is. Go there like that. Awesome. I love it. Use like an actual template, but digital doesn't know like what's going on. It's like, that's not a perfect line. Alright, we'll go there with that. And then I think, alright, we're just going to start slapping. Let me get my ruler here, do some straight lines. 3 composition notebooks filled with names. Damn, man. That's crazy. I've been using Monstrosities since '94, so I went, really? Here we go. What's the perspective? What the hell are we doing here? Okay, so we got this line that comes here, and then the barrel goes under it. Sure. Sorry, give me a second, guys. This isn't making. I know I drew this all wacky, but so the barrel to that. I think we'll go this way. I'm just talking to myself here. Just a cannon. He's losing his mind out there, huh? He's losing his mind out there.
He's very excited to be drawing.
Oh, good job.
Little sketch pad thing.
Ah.
Okay, jacket.
There we go. Get that.
Come here. You can stand for this part. Stand up. My head. You're so
I'm just gonna freehand some of this crap. Oops.
hold on. Sorry. That's Mama's fault. There you go. Arm out.
Sure.
Okay. Other arm.
Sometimes I love just not even. It's such a lazy excuse too. It's just like not caring about perspective. You can tell too when somebody's just like shitting all over perspective here.
Papa, we're leaving.
You're leaving? Okay, one sec, guys. Okay.
Good job. You ready to go?
I got his back. Welcome. What tool was that to create the hollow curve? The hollow curve. What tool was it for that hollow curve? Are you talking about... Here, I'll move it around here.
Okay, ready?
These?
Careful, careful.
What tool did I use to make these that I'm moving around? Is that what you're talking about? I think we'll just go ahead and fill this in black now. Normally I'll save all the solid black areas that we put till the end, but I know those are going to be black anyway. Yeah, okay. It's not a tool. It's I don't even know how to say this. It's like I could show you how I make it, and then you could pause this video, or you could just recreate it and turn it into an auto action. So what I have it as is I can press a button and it does it. Photoshop does this, Clip Studio Paint does it. It doesn't really matter. So here, I'm gonna make a new layer. What you want to do is think of it this way. I always show the shoelaces because everybody likes the shoelaces. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, I'm gonna make a new layer and do the other direction. Okay. What you're thinking of is you generally want a big thick brush, and think of the line you just put down as just being the outlines. There's two ways of doing this in Clip Studio. I guess you could do this in Photoshop too, but I'll show you what I'm doing this way. So all you're going to do is each one of these lines is on its own, or group of lines is on its own layer. So you just hold Control, select the layer, and you're going to get like these marching ants or a selection, right? And then just go select, shrink selected area. This is your line width. I think I use 6 maybe, so I'll put 6. And then, it's a little bit thicker, but anyway, then you fill it with white. Whoops, fill it with white, and that's it. So all of what you just saw, I do in a single action, okay? So I'll show you that. So I'll just press F8 for me, go on this there, press F8, right? I can go underneath these layers and do like this is extremely useful too. It doesn't even matter if you're doing comic book work, like if you're doing any kind of digital work, artwork, this can be tremendously useful, right? So there you go. You got some really simple, cheesy shoelaces. I just use the shoelace, or we'll do the Spider-Man's web, right? Like they're all the same, just because people always get a kick out of them. So you put Spider-Man's web, make a new layer. Whoops, just put some McFarlane style crap, right? Like you can do super simple webs and stuff like that. Another way you could do it, and some people I think prefer this one, and you can do this again in Photoshop just with blending modes. But make a new layer, and on that layer over here, I don't know if this is showing up, your effect property. This one right here is border effect. Click that, edge color. We're going to turn that black. And the thickness of your edge, again, that's the line weight you want. So my lines, they're 3.5, not 6. So I'll put this as 3.5. And, wait, is that right? Is that what we want? I don't normally do it this way, so I'm a little confused. Yeah, this will work. Maybe we'll bump that up. No, 3.5. That's what we want. So we want 3.5, and then you just get that thick brush again or whatever, or I'll even use a pressure-sensitive brush. And it'll do it automatically on the same layer. And this is great, too, for, like, if you just want to do, like, I don't know, like some quick, bushes and stuff. Quick flower or something, Or, hell, even a gun. You could just do, like, the outlines of a gun, like some shape. This is like an old concept art style thing, right? Then make a new layer above it. Grab your line art or your however you like to ink. You know, boom. Just get a little gun, little gunny poo, get a little whatever on there. You know what I'm saying? You just draw. This is all that I'm doing really, in so many ways. Now it looks like a little water gun. Whoops. Keep deleting layers. That one. And that's it. And I'll do the shameless plug if you're interested. You can go to freddyart.com. It'll be Freddie E. Williams' website. He's got some digital downloads you can pay for. All of my actions, so like that. I've got a whole bunch that you can get in a pack. I don't even know how much it is. It might be $20 or something like that. I should really check up on that if I'm promoting it. But you can go there, you can download it, and you can just start using it right away. You don't got to worry about making all those auto actions if you don't have time. You want a banger? I can get something. You know what, Jason? Send it to me. Maybe I'll listen to it later. I don't like listening to it while I'm streaming. And YouTube pulls stuff. You know how it goes. It's just like the same as Twitch. Is this the ink or refined sketch? This, to me, this would be... so the way I like to work is line art. Think of this as like your tight line art, like if you were drawing with a micron. So I'm drawing with a tight micron right now, and then I'm going to grab a thick-ass Sharpie and put a contour layer around this guy. And then I'm going to do inks over top. I don't know. It's not hard to explain, I guess. I know a lot of people, they've already been here before, so they know what the hell I'm talking about. But to answer your question in particular, I guess an easy way would just be calling it this. It's not a refined sketch. It's tight line art. Man, I'm all over the place today. I can tell when I'm rusty with streaming. I'm rambling and I don't even know where I'm going with it. Yeah, no problem, brother. I'm Monstrositus. I'm a traditional artist who has had to go digital due to lack of a proper scanner and printer. I will tell you this: outside of the actual suckiness of not being able to draw on paper, digital, I hope, will treat you right in so much that you might be able to work faster now and or just thanks, Jason, as well as get more work. I would argue too. From personal experience, not that that really matters too much in your case here, but I had to make the digital switch because every comic book job that I was trying to get, they were only hiring people that could ink their own stuff because paying for an inker, like in the indie world, on top of you, which is crazy town. So digital was one of those magical things that, in a lot of ways, once you get the settings down, it could be the exact same way as working traditionally. Maybe not exact. That's probably just lied to you there, but you should be okay once you get set up. It's finding it's the comfortable part. That's the hard part. Like I remember like drawing on glass and the slidiness and all that crap. It can be definitely tough. But maybe find a project, like if you can commit to a project for yourself, or hey, I even did this when I was working on the Standard. If anybody remembers that comic. I don't mean that in a bad way. It sounded like I was just like shitting on it. But I remember asking John Lee's the writer there. I was like, "Hey man, I'm thinking of going digital here with this stuff. Do you mind if I use our book to try it?" And I had already done pages, and that guy was very awesome. He didn't mind at all, in so much that it didn't look so different. Like he didn't want it to look like a new artist was on the book, you know. So for me, that was an awesome way to get into digital, but getting thrown right into the shit. But anyway, I don't know your situation. I'm sure you're a lot more farther along than I am. But yeah, just try to find something that's comfortable. Digital, I will say the one thing that can get you in a snag is there's like a million ways to do something. And if you see somebody else doing some sort of art that you like, and they make it look so effortless or something, right? It can really mess with you. It can make you go, oh man, okay, I just need to use the brushes that that person's using and this and that, and then we'll be fine. And I mean, there's probably some truth to that. I don't want to spend too much. This is like, man, I really need to brush up on my tech. This stuff looks like a little Nerf gun. Whatever, it's space, right? What do we got here, brother? Hey Rick, welcome in. Haven't seen you in a while. Been a minute since I've been able to catch a stream. How's it? Everything is great, my man. Thank you. Best gun you ever. Thanks. Monstrosities, I've watched you before, but never interacted in chat. No worries, man. You're interacting now. Thank you for being here. And thank you to everybody that's been leaving comments and watching all the videos and stuff that I've been putting out. I do appreciate it. All right, let's move this along. This gun. Yikes. Let's do this weird looking clip. And get my ruler. Nice. So you're picking it. Come on, pick that line up. Come on. Here we go. What was that? All right, we'll use everybody's favorite magic. Kinda. Maybe something kind of like that. This is a private commission or a this is a private commission, yeah. It'll look eventually something like this. Hopefully, I will have it done in. I keep jumping around. I should be farther than I am right now. I'm so much faster when it comes to figure work. So, like, you'll see when we get to the costume and stuff. The gun, that's why I wanted to get it done now. There's it's a little bit more intricate here. Like, it's following a a really stupid perspective. I'm actually looking at this iron sight, and it's like, okay, so he looks straight down here, and then the barrel dips under where his eye is. So this little crosshair is gonna have to shoot up big time. It's almost like a sniper rifle. But anyway, this is taking longer than it should, but it should go a lot quicker. Yes. Do you have a Twitter or somewhere I can send you a pic? Yeah, absolutely, man. You just go to, I think it's Art by Jar on Twitter. In the description below this video, there should be a crap load of links everywhere. Or you can go to my website, jonathanrector.com. Right at the top. Actually, I don't think it really looks good on mobile. It's been a long time since I looked. And if that's the case, I don't think there's any links you can access there. So I should probably fix that. But if you're on the computer, just go to that website. And then at the top, there's links to like everywhere I am online. If you'd like to follow me there. But Strider, welcome. I am well, my man. How are you? Dude, I'm working on some window graphics right now, 300 DPI, and the illustrator's choking hard on the. Oh, love it. It's from Instagram. Right on, man. thanks for tracking me down here too. Good stuff. Good to see you. Okay, let's get this Kirby thing here going. Let's see if we can get this to look good. So I'm going to put a little dot. Little dot. Put that one here. We'll put this one over here. Then we're going to make another one. Can you believe it? Do something like that. And let's make these feel a little bit more angular. Does it look better? Q. And then I think that's it. Maybe we'll add some more. Oh no, we got the. What am I talking about? That's it. Okay. Got the whole back part of it to do. All right, line art. We're gonna click here. I at least want some of this to make sense here, right? Like, so his iron sights. Holy hell, they gotta come way up here. Yeah. Look at that. That is up there, man. That doesn't even make sense. This thing is. I love it. Ah. All right, let's get our stencil out here. And we'll put it, sure, right here. We're just having fun. We're not worrying about wowing people, right? It's all about selling an emotion in the emotion selling business. I have to convince you, or maybe not even just that. It's the storytelling business, right? Just want to convince you that what you're seeing is a story. And the specifics you're not really going to care too much about. That's my belief anyway. Could just be a really bad way of saying, yeah, I'm not drawing this gunner perspective very good. It's okay. So there, get a new layer. You know what it kind of reminds me of now? Like a hood ornament. I believe that. Yeah, okay, that's I love it, okay? Now, I know. A crosshair that thick is ridiculous. I know, I get it. But it looks cool as hell. At least to me. In its own goofy way. Okay. The power of Kirby has shown me that. The confidence, and I've said this before too, guys. I highly recommend doing it. Okay, at least once in your life, look at a Kirby comic and see what he's doing, and just have the balls to try it. Even though things don't line up, things might not, make a whole lot of sense or this or that. Just try it, and I hope you feel as I do when I started trying this stuff. It feels like freedom, man. And I'm not trying to, sell you something here. I'm just saying, for me, it's just been great. Like, it's a little bit harder working this way, when I'm working with like a tight micron kind of feel here, where the line art, I'm trying anyway to be, pretty good with it. If you have a little bit more of a looser style, you can get away with it. But it's been something good, man. Refreshing for the art, so I'll tell you that. This gun, though, man, what is going on? Okay, I think I'm gonna stop with this. This really, it looks spacey, doesn't it? A little bit, kinda. No, maybe it shoots plasma. I don't know. Raphael, welcome, brother. How you been doing? Still pumping out the awesome artwork as usual. Okay, I know. I checked Invincible yesterday actually, and it was like a 2 minute thing, and it was already starting. And I thought, is this like episode zero? So I stopped, and I realized the show hadn't even come out yet. So yes, I will definitely be watching that. Icon, how much money do you get from YouTube a month? I get zero. I think that's because I have a setting turned off and I don't run ads. So at most, I think I was ever getting $20 a month at the peak. So Kevin, need to do welcome, Kevin. By the way, need to do mechanical self. I know. I need to start branching into the vector stuff. I don't know why I'm not doing it. I think I'm just so used to just pressing F6 that I have set up right now for a new layer. I don't even like. I don't care. But who was I watching? Chumba. I don't know his real name, as bad as that is, but he's been posting. I don't know if he's still doing it, but at least a month or two ago, he's posting lots of stuff on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure he does works in a very similar style with like a micron thing, and all of his stuff was vector, and he was able to just adjust it. Uh, I don't know. I mean, I'll come up with some counter arguments. Like this line right here is not good, but I don't draw like this currently, right? So it's like okay, I will say that, and I guess that's about it. Oh, also, like once we start slapping some inks on this guy, a lot of this hopefully will clear up. Maybe something like that. I don't want to add too many straight lines because then you can really start feeling what's wacky about it. In case you can't see it or feel it when you look at it, you know. Okay, that's enough with the gun. Let's move on from the gun. Enough of the gun. We need to see some momentum here. Strider, Jonathan, do you stream playing video games too, or would it be something? No, I think I did on Twitch. I think I streamed some Dragon Ball or on YouTube actually. I think for my PlayStation or something. But no, I don't stream video games. I don't. I mean, I guess it would be cool to have a job streaming. Like I do know there's lots of artists that stream and they can make a living off it and stuff. Maybe one day, but I don't know. My like I was saying at the top of the stream here, I've got a little guy now, and I feel like I got the family thing kind of going. I'm honestly more interested in that than trying to build a better art career, if that makes sense. I'm very fortunate and grateful. I've said this a bunch of times. I'm very fortunate and grateful that I have the following and support that I do from you guys or other people or people even asking me or considering hiring me to do work for them. That's the stuff. But right now, I'm not really looking to grow in that direction. Just enjoying life as I can. So I'll take on the occasional commissions and stuff, right? I still like drawing. I don't want to stop that. But yeah. Kirby is honestly the greatest thing that's happened to me in my creative direction so far. But I will say I wouldn't be able to get as far as I am with my current style if I hadn't drawn. I guess even the way I'm doing drawing right now, like if I hadn't read so many anatomy books and studied and studied and studied for years, like when I was in college and all that, I gave up and I don't make it sound like it's more important than it is, but I gave up a lot to just sit in my room and draw. Like friends and stuff like that, social life, that kind of thing. Um, as most artists do, I would say, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. So it's like there's a cost to get where you're at, but being where I am now with it is this is the kind of stuff I was hoping to do at the start of last year when uh, before COVID hit. Then once it hit, it was like okay, I need to keep doing what I normally do. Gotta keep money coming in to feed the family and all that stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm just lucky to be able to do it now and fortunate. So it's good. It's good. And I wish, and I said this before to you guys too, where it's like it's interesting when you learn to draw comics. I'm not saying Kirby. You guys all need to. I don't want to build this guy up any more than I have, but it's like when we all get anatomy books or you try to learn, hey, how do I get a job doing comics in particular? I'm just using that as an example because a lot of people like the comic book style, right? Like style of artwork. But everybody always says go look at the greats and stuff and study from them, just like you do when you grab anatomy, whether it's Andrew Loomis or Bridgman or whoever you're looking at. Everybody's got there's recommendations that are always on lists, and people always I've always heard it too. They would say like check out Kirby. It's you know, and you check it out and you're like I don't get it. It just doesn't look good. It's old. It's dated. Right? All true. And people will say stuff like, like this is the guy, the king, he invented all this stuff and blah blah blah. And you look at it, you're like, okay, and you at least I did, okay, I'll give him the respect, you know. There's something definitely to be said for the guy that arguably made all these heroes and stories and all this stuff, right? But I just don't like the way he draws. And when you do that stuff, and you're looking at it, and you start looking at like, okay, well, I want to do comics and blah blah blah, and you start looking at Jim Lee and whoever else you like that's doing comics right now or then, I feel like people don't look at his stuff and try to draw it, and it's so weird to me, and I know I was that way, and I regret it now, man. I mean, to be fair, I guess if I had taken that direction and tried to draw or include more of his mannerisms in my style, I think the what I would have assumed is that people would have looked at it and said, this guy just likes drawing an old style, and that's not interesting anymore, and that's not going to get you. It's not going to get me work, or it's not going to get me hired by Marvel and blah 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 blah. And it wasn't honestly until not having to worry about getting a job with any of those companies, just being able to draw just for drawing's sake, that it's been awesome. So I guess all that was the whole point of that was just to say, like, if you're able to, definitely try to just incorporate. It doesn't have to be him. It could be anybody, any of the older guys. Just see what they're doing and see if you can bring a little bit of that stuff into your own work. I think you'll feel very rewarded in it, because there's something with modern art. I love it. I'm a fan of art, but old stuff, retro stuff, it's got its place, man. And sometimes you find it too late, or maybe you check it out and it really isn't for you. That's okay too. Raphael is trying to finish his last 10 pages for a 200-page graphic novel. Congratulations, man. That's huge. Especially drawing a horse that many times. You can't hear it because I'm wearing a glove, but maybe you can. I'm clapping for you. That's an achievement, man. Good job. Jeffrey Cruz, thank you. Thank you, Strata. That is Chumba's name. He was one of my inspirations for drawing digital in my early years. Right on. It makes a lot of sense. Kevin, ages ago I learned art from Kirby. Wow, I'm hitting puberty all day today. You guys see that? Her from Kirby. Then had to unlearn everything, but I still appreciate the influence. But I learned a lot about storytelling and composition. Yes. Okay. Even that alone, that's huge stuff. Raphael, you need to be experienced enough to understand Kirby in his full extent, but that's just your opinion. Yep. Currently, I'm going through the same thing, but with Alex Toth. His stuff, my God. You know what? Like that's. I'm glad you bring him up because I'm slowly getting into him. Right now, I'm really into Corey Lewis. I've talked about him a whole bunch. Jack Kirby. Bruce Timm, I was really dipping in there because, man, I'm not well, it's not that I'm not a fan, but you guys know Bruce, everyone knows Bruce Timm, the Batman from the 90s or whatever, right? Like, it was amazing stuff, and everybody always draws those characters. And I'm not a big fan of that look, but when he puts the Kirby rendering over top of it, god damn, that is some beautiful looking stuff. And I think it was seeing Bruce Timm's, that style of him going, oh man, I've been looking at Kirby all wrong. What I like about it is it's not that it's the wacky bodies and like why is a knee over here, that kind of stuff, even though it's cool. It's that I could simplify my art and then add that really sick energetic rendering over top, and it gives it its punch, and that's where all of a sudden I felt like I just hit a home run, and that's where it felt creatively freeing for me. So yeah, him, and then Mignola. I've always been a fan of Hellboy. That simplistic shadow and light. I'm playing a lot more with that. Like I said, I showed you guys this one right when we started. I'll bring it back up just for whatever. But this character here, right? If we turn it all off and just like the lines, right? You can see this is, I wouldn't say it's Magnolia, but it's definitely like what I'm doing right now. It's simple. I don't have to go in here and add rendering and all that stuff because once we slap the air quotes here, the Kirby over top, right? Then we can start getting the power. We can just put it all in there. It doesn't even matter. And it's night and day the way it looks, right? Like this is flat and whatever. Okay, here we go. Now it's a story. Now there's some wow, what's going on? At least when I'm looking at it, that's what I'm talking about. What I like about it. And yeah, to your point, it's exactly that kind of stuff right there, where it's just like Alex Toth, those guys, the guys that are like masters at negative space, where to move the eye and all that, and it's been great. It's been great stuff, man. I'm glad other people are kind of getting into this stuff too. It's exciting. Icon, what is your favorite drawing? My favorite that I've made or that I've seen of somebody else's. Robert Marzullo's yeah, he's a great guy. He's very passionate about what he does too, man. You'll never draw a horse again. Brian Games, do you ever get art block? Like it's been 5 months from now. I stopped creating my stuff. Been busy in my. I don't know what that means. ACAD's starting to lose my passion. Okay, well, Brian, I guess I would ask you a couple questions. You're not the only cat that's asked me this too. It happens to us all, right? Like, depends what you're drawn for. I would say too. Like, if you're just drawn for yourself, this definitely still happens if you don't have like a reason to be drawing. I would argue just drawing because you're an artist, that's usually not, it hasn't been enough for me. I usually need a why to do it or else I'll go do something else. So if that's, it's a commission for somebody, blah, 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 anything, right? So my question would be to you, are like, do you draw for other people or are you talking you just draw for yourself? And if you do just draw for yourself, is that okay, or do you have like some ambition in your head of you should be doing something more than you're not? Until I get that answer, I'll talk about the other side of that of, working for other people and getting art block. One thing I've definitely kept from watching countless hours of comic book creator videos, like especially the image guys and stuff. I forget who even said it. It might have been Mark Silvestri I heard it from. I think. I don't know. It definitely was. Now that I'm remembering it, I'll botch up. I'll botch what he said, but I remember him saying it. It was for comics anyway. It's you're even drawing. It's work. No matter what, it's work. And just like any other job, you're not going to want to do it after a while. Some days you don't mind it, some days you love it, but those are probably like 1 to 5% of your overall time that you'll actually enjoy waking up to draw. But it's a job. You got to do it. And you have to try and remember why you were drawing, why you wanted to draw, why you even wanted that job in the first place. Maybe you fell into it. That's a little different. But let's assume you wanted to be a comic book artist, we'll say, right? There was a reason why you wanted to be that, and now you have it, or you're working towards it. But you got to go back and remember the why. Why are you here? And I used to write it down. I used to have it, and it used to change all the time. That's how I knew it wasn't something I was supposed to do full time. Maybe one day I will, but like it's just never been something that I've always said it would be really cool to do, and that I've wanted it. But I don't think that's the case because some of my actions are counter to that. But regardless, art block just comes because it's work. You're probably thinking of all of the work you have to do, right? Like if you sit down and go, I got to do a comic book page. That's a buttload of time, man. That's a lot of time. If you got to sit down for maybe you're fast 4 hours up to 16 hours to draw one page, that's one thing. Let alone what it is you have to draw. If you're just sitting there drawing 6 panels of talking heads, okay, that's to me, I hate that stuff. I hate it. That tied with the next thing I'll say are the two things I absolutely hate about when I was drawing comics. But talking heads is like, God, okay, I know I'm just putting in hours now to get this out. And the other one would be like giant cityscapes with a battle or a giant team battle. Like it's New York City and it's New York City and you've got every cast member of the Avengers that's ever been an Avenger fighting invading forces of Thanos or something, right? And it's a double page spread and it's Times Square and people aren't expecting it, so it's right. You know what I'm saying? It's just holy shit. You're gonna be there for a while. They're just like sinks, man. You got to go in there like time sinks, going like, okay, this is gonna take a long time. All you can do is just keep moving your wrist and your hand and your elbow and your arm around until that piece is done, and it can suck. And then what even sucks is tomorrow if it's the same thing. So you just got to find ways to like spice it up for yourself. Maybe it could just be taking breaks. Like you're saying you're taking 5 months off. Like that might be okay. You know, I think it is hard for a lot of artists. We don't have, it'd be nice to be able to take breaks, and I think there's a. I've moved away from this, even though I dip my toes in it every now and then. My brother can attest because I'll send him videos about like stuff where it's like, if you just do this or that, then you could live the life that you want and you could always be happy, all that thing. But I really don't think it probably is. But anyway, for the sake of this argument, I'll say I don't think it's true. It's just sometimes you're doing too much, and there's that mentality of you work hard all the time. Always think about how you're going to make money and what's the side hustle, what's that gig you're going to do on the side, blah blah blah. All these things, it forces you to constantly think about work and what you're not doing and what you should be doing, and it's just so much, so much. And you're only drawing pictures, you're only drawing, so it's really it's fun, right? Not really, not really fun when you're in there drawing it and you just look at the clock tick by. And a lot of people that aren't in your field that you might want to vent to, they don't know what the hell you're talking about. You just draw. How hard is it to draw? How hard is it to draw? Everybody remembers how to draw when they were little, right? Drawing little houses with the little smokestack at the top, or little swans, or whatever you're gonna draw. That's not what we do. They can't relate, so it's like you can't vent to people about it. So I don't know. You start following a lot of that. Maybe you haven't. Maybe it's just me, but a lot of that self-help stuff, like what you should be doing with your time, how to min-max all your time. It's just too much, man. Just find what makes you happy, and I mean, if comics or drawing just makes you happy, then do it. But it might be different than what you think it is. It might be just drawing for yourself, making pinups, and just posting that online. I'll tell you this too, man. You can make a living just doing pinups, posting that online, 100%. The internet has given us so many opportunities to sort of branch out. If comics is your thing, man, maybe look into like all the successful people on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. You might only have to do 2 comic books a year and make a living. Sure, it'll take some work up front. You got to build audience and stuff. Like, there's a little bit of work for sure, but I think you're just asking your why. For me, I'll tell you this right now. I've just come to the conclusion that I enjoy doing things other than drawing. And the things I like to do are usually more time consuming, or can be more time consuming than drawing. Like, I play, my brother knows this. I was over there. I got him into a card game called Marvel Champions. It's sick. I get to play by myself. Right now, when nobody really hangs out anymore or anything like that, like I can play by myself or with people eventually, right? It's awesome. I got into tabletop role-playing games just by myself. Like Dungeons and Dragons by yourself kind of things. Sounds nerdy as hell. I know, I get it. I'm having a blast. It's very enjoyable. Playing video games. Pretty much the number one thing you don't want to do when you draw comics. Again, also, I should point out too, and maybe this has nothing to do with your question. I'm just talking about myself, and I apologize. But like, you see what I'm drawing here? This is fun. I'm having a good time because you guys are distracting me. This stuff here. Let me just bring up. I don't know what. Okay, yeah, this. Excuse me. This here took less time for me to draw than this. Or yeah, this whole thing. All of this took less time because the other thing I've told myself, and it's been very hard to swallow this pill, is I know I can, and I don't want to gloat or anything like that. This is just, I'm just venting here. To me, when I see this, this looks to me like somebody that knows how to draw. Okay? When I see this, the hardest argument I had to make for myself is this doesn't necessarily, this looks like somebody that's, maybe getting there with drawing. They need to tighten some stuff up. The anatomy looks a little wacky. Your composition might be a little fucky here and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But I had to just swallow that pill that's me saying that. Other people might not be saying that, or they might, it doesn't matter. This lets me have fun, and it takes less time. So it helps me. And I'm very grateful that people are enjoying the stuff that I'm making. Trust me, I'll always be thankful for that. But being able to make art quicker, even if it's more loose and sloppy, and sloppy, whatever it is, I'm able to play video games again. I'm able to spend time with my family. I'm able to just hang out. I'm able to have a lot less stress art wise, knowing I can just crank this out for people or whatever myself, and enjoy it, and still have lots of time left. This, like again, I'm enjoying doing work for people. I don't want to make it sound like the work I'm doing for people is just like a giant weight on my back. It's not. However, if all of my stuff, even when I was doing Jessup King, was like this kind of time intensive, man, that adds so much stress. So much stress. Bum, brum. Icon, your drawing. My favorite drawing that I've ever done. Who? I don't know if I have one. Like lately, I'll show you this newer stuff. I honestly don't know if I have a favorite, man, because like I like bits and pieces of my stuff, but I usually just got to get it out. I don't like having it in my head, and sometimes I don't even know what the art's gonna look like. Like right now, the thing we're doing right now, I have an idea, but once we get into the adding the background and the colors, it's gonna change. So I don't know. Um, this Silver Surfer one I did, I'm a big fan of it. I was pushing anatomy and stuff like that, and I was just trying to mess around with some shapes. I really enjoy the motion. This one, the way my eyes go and they move, it's still weird to look at. A lot of this stuff doesn't really add up, right? Like if you look at the line art on this one, um, I think I have just line art. Yeah, like whoa, okay. And then once you start adding, that liberating anatomy and rendering over top, it gets spicy. But other than that, I don't know. I think I really like that Ninja Turtle one I did. Let me see if I can bring that up. I put it under prints. This is going back a bit. Oh, geez. No, it wasn't 2015. This Venom was actually pretty sick. You guys remember this one? Here, I'll open this one. Yeah. If you can even tell what the hell's going on. I have a video series on this. You guys can see me draw it. I drew it in pencil. I made an original and digital. I'm looking at it now, though. Like, my eyes don't know where the hell they're supposed to go. I'll tell you that right now. Might be a little easier if I open up the... Yeah, we'll just crack open this one. And then I'll bring open the Ninja Turtle one. Can we turn all this off, please? Man, get rid of that background. Good God, look at all this stuff. Again, when I look at this, I see parts of what I like about drawing in here, but I'm just glad I moved away from this. On one hand, it's like cool. I'm glad I'm able to do this, right? And I'm not trying to gloat or promote or nothing like that. I'm just saying it's nice to know that I've reached a certain spot, right? And I like it. There's a lot of like, look at these shoulders, just like steroided out of this guy's mind. It's fun. It's fun. But I don't want to do this. This is like all this kind of stuff. If you can look like the veins all over in there, it's fun when you're in there and you're drawing it. But like, no, I can't do this anymore. Maybe in a while. I know this looks totally different from that. Okay, let me bring up that Ninja Turtle one. Somebody else colored it for me. But oh man, this is gonna be. Just give my computer a second here. It's having a heart attack. Van Davis, you did the flash. Did you? I apologize. I don't remember, man. This stuff was so long ago. But thank you. Oh, here we go. It might be this one. I won't show you guys the final color because it doesn't really matter. But I'll turn the flats on in a second again. But this one was a load of fun. Look at this, man. And I'll be honest. Like I'm a huge Ninja Turtle fan, big fan. When I look at this, like I like that I was able to do it again. I know I'm saying the same thing. Like Leonardo here, I think I killed this one. I thought this was awesome. Even Raphael's looking pretty gritty and stuff. But I would like to redo this in the style direction I'm going now because the turtles that I like are the cartoon turtles from the is it early 90s or late 80s? I forget when they came out. But the cartoon one, the colorful ones. These ones look like I guess maybe like Freddie Williams Turtles and Batman or just like a grittier one and I'm kind of getting away from the hyper gritty artwork. I'm just tired of seeing everything like let's have a fun cartoon show or a simple kids show and like add a little dark edge. I'm just over that kind of stuff. I in my art anyway. I like consuming that content. It's really fun, but drawing it is just sort of, I don't know, whatever. But it was fun. You know, like I think I did a really good job here on Bebop. His face, he looks pretty cool. Yeah, Shredder turned out awesome. Again, you guys want to watch this stuff, you can go look on through my playlists or whatever. We did full streams of this stuff. And then the flats here to help your eyes make sense. Thank you again, apparently, Van Davis, who just happens to be in the chat. Yeah, this was fun. But again, I don't want to work like this again. I just feel like it's... I could be wrong, but I feel like when I see this, I don't know who the artist is. Like, this looks like a lot of artists. This looks like it could have been anybody, you know? And it's just not... I feel like I don't have a voice in here, even though the voice I would have had when I was doing this was during, like, the roughs and the thumbnails and stuff like that. And arguably, you know, like I'm showing you guys this stuff and it could be like, wow, man, like, you are going in the wrong direction for me. All right, let me just catch up with you guys here. I was ranting quite a bit. Where are we at here? Okay, Strider, I grew up loving Spider-Man, and during that time, Mark Bagley... I love Mark Bagley. He's a wonderful guy. I was actually able to meet him one day at a convention in Toronto. Very cool guy. Very cool guy. But with that, detailing comes with his work. I'm still trying to unlearn it. Okay, yeah, I can understand that too, man. Trying like Kevin Phillips was saying earlier, you gotta unlearn what you learned. It's tough, man. Raphael, as a currently overworked comic book artist, I vouch for what John said. 10 years ago, I would literally have killed someone for my current job. Yet today, I'm not fully happy or satisfied. And I feel bad for you, Raphael. Like, bad and good, and I'm happy for you too for the success and being able to get a dream. There's another friend of the stream. I won't bring his name up. If he ever wants to talk about it, that's cool too. He works at a big publisher, one of the big two, and he mirrors a lot of what you say. And I think it ebbs and flows, just like we're talking about a little bit before of burnout, right? There's definitely a play in there. I think, you know, when you get onto a new project, the excitement ramps up again. So it's sort of like you're saying, when you're in it for a long one, like a long project, it can be oh man, it's hard to see the way out. You're just looking at page count, and like you said, you're on the last 20 pages, right? It's like you start focusing on what's left, not what you've done, and you'll start looking at what you've done after the fact. You're like, you'll look back, you'll be refreshed. You can sit down, take that big breath, that sigh, that relief. Ugh, you know, I finished it. That monster is gone, and you'll take some time off, and then you know what you'll do. I know what I did. I know what I still do. Then you'll start looking for more. Like a sick puppy. You want to be hurt again. That's comic book art right there. Monstrositus, I know you're busy. Okay, thanks, man. I'll do my best to get back to them. I apologize if it takes a while, but I will eventually get them. Strider, there are two things I hate about the art industry. Is that there isn't nearly enough platforms where artists can sit and talk about their struggles, and two, no one teaches artists how to sell themselves, market them. Well, okay, the second one, how to sell and market. I think it's actually very easy. It's just hard to find people willing to spend money. You've got the entire internet to your disposal. Whenever you make art posts, post to every single one of them, even LinkedIn, even I don't know if you want to go to TikTok route, all that stuff. Do all that stuff. Market yourself everywhere. You need to be where eyes are, right? Eyes are everywhere on the internet, so you got to be everywhere as best you can. That's it. And then over time, you'll build a big enough audience, or people that are interested in maybe buying something. That's about it. Honestly, I also suggest this. I know this probably isn't what a lot of people want to hear. That's cool. Get a job. Get like a legit normal day job. What it'll let you do is it sucks to go to. Okay. Nobody's gonna disagree with that. Or maybe you get lucky. Maybe it is actually pretty fun. Maybe you do get lucky, right? Somebody's got to be lucky out there. Get that day job, and what that'll do is it'll like absolve you of any stress of like trying to find the next art job. You know, you got income coming in. It takes some hours from your day. I get it. But then that means when you're able to come home, you can do whatever you want to do. You can draw your own comic. You could maybe get commissions and work for other people. But just being able to get a steady income helps with that art stress, man. I would argue. As for a place to vent, I agree. I do know there's some social circles once you get into the big two, like Marvel in particular. I've never been in them. I've heard of it through a friend that, whether it's Discord or whatever the hell they use now, I don't know. But they go in there and they vent. They they bitch. But a lot of people, once you get in there, it's like people don't want to talk shop. They want to just talk about anything other than that. You guys know, right? Like we're all drawing and stuff like that. You need to vent to somebody. That's cool. I get it, right? But your life isn't just comic books, or maybe it is. Most people, it's not. So it's just the job. So maybe you talk about a show that you're watching or something, right? So it's different. It's different. I know. Yeah, we're getting more and more people watching, which is great. You know, I think in the heyday we had like 60 once. That was, I think, the biggest number. But that's when we were doing JESOP King and we were streaming like every night. That life's gone for now. I got a little guy. I can't be streaming at night anymore. All right, my brother's saying it's important to remember that you don't have to draw work on your craft 24/7. It's not normal to. Remember that every time you work on improving, you're better than before. Find your balance. One thing I'll add to what Jason's saying there, and I do agree. Jordan Peterson, he's got fans. Some people don't like him. I don't care. He had one thing he said. I've repeated it before. I'll repeat it now. He's a clinical psychologist. Okay, so even if you don't like what he says, it's been his finding in his study over the years that he's found that there's generally two kinds of people. I'm sure they bleed into each other. I always remember the industrialics, right? You know if you're that person or not, and you also know if you're pretending to be that person, right? And the industrious person, they're just a workaholic, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you are and you enjoy it, then go all in. Then there's the other kinds of people that they just enjoy life, right? So the industrious people, since they work so much, they're going to miss out on things, like other things in life, whether it's just hanging out with friends, whether it's a video game. I'll try to bring it back to us here, right? Video games, watching movies, hanging out, starting a family maybe, anything. Pick anything. Then the other side of it is the non-industrious people who like the spice of life. They like the little bits and pieces. And what that means is you'll never be the top of your game or your top of your craft. You'll never be a Jim Lee unless you're an industrious person. It's almost impossible to do that. Unless you're very lucky and you only need to do like one or two drawings a year and people just eat it up and you're like the greatest thing. It's probably possible, but it's probably not normal, right? So for me, I've come to the conclusion a few years ago that it's like I like doing too many different things. I don't. If I had to just do artwork all the time, I could make it work, but I'd be very unhappy. So just knowing that, it's like okay, then I don't need to take my art as seriously. I still treat it serious for people that I work with, but it's not the only thing in my life, and I don't want it to be. And if it is for you, I'm not trying to tell people how they need to live their life or anything. Just a suggestion. Find out who you are and what it is that you like. Kevin, Cap, and Kang look awesome. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You should put ads on so you can get some. Oh, I appreciate that. Again, I haven't gotten anything from YouTube because I think I'm missing something I need to turn on. I don't I don't know. I'll look into it. It hasn't been a big thing on my mind because I haven't been streaming. I've just been posting like 2 or 3 minute condensed videos lately. So. Black Monero, welcome, man. I haven't seen you in a long time. Hope you're doing well. I think you're being too hard on yourself, John. There are many other artists who draw in your Kirby style at the big two publishers. Okay, you could be totally right, brother. I mean, I don't read Marvel comics I don't read comics, so I don't know. So my opinion is most like clearly it's uneducated. Excuse me. Jason just adding, we're not machines, and I know people that have burnt out of art because they did too much work too often and lost the fun in the work because it was too much work. Bonjour, welcome. Got so many Rectors in here now, crazy. Okay, now I caught up to that. Okay, wow, I'm really behind. Lars, welcome, brother. How you doing? I've been keeping an eye on your Instagram, man. Everything's looking real good. Those portraits are looking nice, man. That painted style is very nice. Very nice. Van, I enjoy this a lot, but I definitely like to see you working. Yeah, okay, good. Thanks, man. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate that. Turtles tend to look better in their simpler styles. I agree. Lars, I don't know what we're talking about, but I always thought this was your best work ever, and I really thought Ode would have accepted this. Oh, IDW. I think that's what you're talking about. They may. I don't know. I mean, I don't know who the name of the artist, but there was I really forget his name, but he was like the guy on Ninja Turtles for IDW for a long run there. Matios, something like that. He's phenomenal. I've said it before. I don't even want to. If I could, I don't even want to take the guy's job because the comic pages are so sick. I want him to just draw. It was so awesome. IDW didn't. I already submitted that stuff to them. I never heard back. Which is, that's what you do. You submit stuff. I was sending stuff to Marvel, DC editors and stuff like that. You don't hear back. Sometimes you do. Most times you don't. That's just normal. There you go, Raphael, man. Refresh the batteries, recharge them. You'll be back. We always come back. Again, like I said, we're sick puppies. We're addicted. How can you commission me? Just send me an email what you're looking for, and then I can send you pages or rates and stuff like that. No problem. Largest thing, I feel like your heyday was on Wednesday streams when you worked on the standard. Damn, that far back, huh? That was the heydays for Lars. Strider, I love Jordan Peterson. I listen to him a lot. Right on. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, okay. Now I think I'm getting caught up here. Strider, I've been struggling for years now. Couldn't find a job. Going for 6 years. I've been trying to fight depression and suicide. Trying to find work. I imagine it is, man, and I'm sorry. Are you talking to anybody? Are you able to vent about this stuff? You don't got to be alone in this kind of stuff, you know. I can't even imagine having depression and anxiety, especially like the extreme stuff that you might be going through. Also, trying to put a heavy weight on art is my life, and if I can't get work with art, what is the point of my life? I've had a couple people that I've known talk like that. It's not true, but when you're in it, I can understand. I haven't gone through it. I have some people in family that have and are, so I can understand it. But if you need to talk to somebody, just feel free to shoot me an email sometime, buddy. Just focus on today. Focus on the next thing you can do. Small stuff, small steps, man. See you, Kevin. Thank you for participating, man. Raphael to the rescue, Medius Santaluco, right? I always say his name wrong. He's actually an acquaintance. Oh, really? Awesome, man. I'm glad you guys know each other. He's a fantastic artist, too, man. Lars, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I put a lot of work into the portraits following over the years. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Okay, we're caught up. Whew. All right, you guys ready to finally move on to some other stuff besides just this guy? All right, so this is God, an hour ago I said we should be done this. So we got all the line art for this guy done. I don't think we're missing anything. So what we do is we've got all the line art here. We're gonna grab our magical wand. We do magic now, and we're making a selection. No. We need all the layers, please. And we're going to do, like I said, it's almost like a Sharpie. F9. It's a contour layer. Okay. Let me just drag that underneath everything. And what do we have this at? What is this, guys? Cool, I flattened it. Smart guy, smart guy. Flatten that one too. All right. All right, well, I think we'll just maybe do a 6. You see what's happening? We're just making like a big fat Sharpie marker around this guy. And that's just going to get us set for inking. What in the hell? What is over here? What is that? Okay, we're cool. So now that we've got all that, for those maybe that don't know here, right? So like, let's assume we've got some stuff in the background, right? Like the aliens and all that stuff. When you do this contour layer, you can move them, right? So now your composition is free. You're no longer just tied to, you need to draw around here, right? Like if I think he's a little too high up here, we can move him a bit. There's freedom before we get into the inks. We can move. That's the power of this digital stuff. So we don't want to forget that. What is this piece? It's up here. There we go. Got it. Okay, and we'll get to the inking soon, but we just have to finish the rest of the line art, right? Let me turn the roughs up a little bit more. Okay, so I didn't draw the rest of it. All right, so what we'll do is I have my lines. I'm going to make a new folder. Everything's in folders here, and we're going to, I already know I'm going to do the campy, old school style laser here, or or not explosion, but like a gunshot, or it's just like that. That's all it is. And actually, you know what we'll do? I'm gonna close this off, and we will put a contour layer around this. Nothing crazy. Maybe we'll just bump that up to like a 3, and I'll put this underneath him, right? And I'll dress this up later. But what we can do is, we'll end up adding like rendering, right? Like this kind of thing. You know what I mean? Pew. It's the old school way of shooting a gun. We'll move it up a little bit. There, we'll figure it out. And now we're going to do some aliens, and then we're going to do the Kirby stuff in the background. Then we're going to ink. Inking goes pretty quick, so it shouldn't go too long. Icon, I love art, but I started game development. My life is 4 times better now since I know how to balance this. Congratulations. That is a huge thing to figure out. What are you working on? Is this the Grim? Yeah, these are still the Grimsman ones. I'm not going to be able to play champs with you guys because the teacher decided to give us work. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Yeah, love you too. No problem. Like I said, now that I'm not over there for the washer and dryer anymore, we can, I could pop by at different times now. So I don't, if you don't want to play the game, that's fine too. I'm never trying to push you in. If you're interested in playing it, maybe we can figure something out. I'm sure there'll be another opportunity to do so. So yeah, no problem. Okay, let's go quick. Let's go. What I'm going to do here is to speed this up. Okay, we're going to do 2 folders here. Okay, I'm going to do BG aliens and FG. So background aliens and foreground aliens. All right, and then we're also going to do, we'll grab a extra thicky, chunky brush, and we are going to scribble in aliens. All right, you guys will love this. Okay, so I'm going to put an alien right here in the foreground. Boom. My computer's dying on that. And oh, what is all this? What is that? Look at all that. Did you guys see all that pixelation? That was disgusting. I think it's because it's lagging. That's great. Okay. Fix that curve. Okay. So go there, and then, like I said, these guys are basically forearms something. I didn't really design them yet, so we're going to design them together on the fly. So we're going to give it like a gnarly arm. This is just more for composition, right? I think we're just going to stick with the tentacles, but they're aliens. They're bad guys, right? So what we'll do is we're going to put some spikies, because all bad things have spikes. There we go. And this guy's clearly getting shot in the head, so we'll add some damage in a second here, right? So I'm just worrying about composition right here. So we've got this guy in the foreground, and the background, we can play around a little bit more with these, okay? And then you'll see what we're going to do. This is like a trick I like to do. I did this a lot with JESOP King. If you guys remember that. I know they're supposed to be circular, but whatever. Let's have some fun with some shapes here. And we're going to draw over top. And I want to leave a lot of room for Kirby dots because I'm allowed... the guy said I can use them, so I'm going to use them. Because they're amazing. They're the best. What do we got? 2 arms on the tentacle things? These things are like Krang. Right, so they're coming after him. Just composition. And we're going to add more spiky. My computer can't run Photoshop that well, man. Like, I boot it up. It's probably the most frustrating thing of the day. In Photoshop. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go bang. Bang. Look at that. Boom. Done. Okay, so we're going to... What do we have? We had 6 for him, so let's put like a nasty 12 on that just to make it really pop in front of him. And then these dudes in the background, we're going to toss them up on a 3, 6, 3, 3, 6, 3. Something like that. Cool. All right. And then we're going to draw. See what these guys look like. I think this guy's got like 11. I'll be honest with you. It's getting maybe 10. I got to double check. Let's do like some video game aliens, right? Let's have some fun with this. We'll do the, what are they called? Kid Icarus lips on those eggplants. I love these aliens. They just got big, thick lips, right? I'm going to put some teeth. Nah, that looks stupid. some random. And maybe we give him like the Cyclops eyes. It's like a pretty stupid looking alien. I'm not gonna lie. Oh well. Can't win them all, right? Just pure mouth on this one. Yeah, and then we'll go to the foreground alien. Add some spiky. What's that? My OCD happens. It's 10 grooms, but yeah, it's just it's gotta be a specific amount. Can't just be random, man. I don't know. I could check. Like I said, he sent me some money. So I know how much they are if I go to look right now. I 11 sounds right. 11, but like the last email I have is up to 10. So I don't know, man. Okay, cool. All right, I think we're done. All right, lines. Well, not done, but line work. We're done, and we're gonna duplicate all of that and rename it Inkies. Well, just Inks, not Inkies. And I think what we'll do. Normally, I would still keep these things on their own layers, but I'm just gonna. I want to. I don't want to say rush through this, but I want to rush through this because we still got lots. And then we're gonna have some Kirby stuff in the back. Large inking, cool. Isn't that one of my main inking? Main inking. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. So now we start making this actually look like it's something. Now, where is he looking? He's shooting here. Right? So we're not doing a lot of like heavy shadows or nothing, right? All that's gonna get saved for colors. I talked about this like probably what, an hour and a half ago. But remember when I was saying one of the adjustments to digital that I found, at least in this style with like the micron look and then inking over top, is knowing that you're going to ink over top. So your line art, it can get a little sloppy because you get to ink in white. Right? So I can clean up lines anytime I want. So you don't got to feel beholden to like nail those smooth lines when you're starting. I don't want his face. I think I'm crunching it up way too much here, man. Okay, see you, Lars. Appreciate it. Company coming Wonder Woman 1984. Oh, let me know how it is. I just had to see the first Wonder Woman, man. I'm so behind on movies. zoom in. I can't see this for nothing. There. I think that one I was getting a little away from him. I went back to paper to help speed up production. Drawing with white is something that really spoils us. I believe it. Do you use varied line weights? Only in this stage right here. So the line art you already saw, like everything you can see right now. If I'm trying to convert it to or speak to it as if it's like a traditional medium, like if you're drawing on paper, so it's a little bit more understandable. So this would be like if you're just drawing with a micron or a ballpoint pen, something that you don't really get variance on, right? Like it's a very static line. Then we ink over top. That's when I add all my line weights. And the reason for that is like, so, it's got its pluses and minuses. You see how there's like this big thick contour line? What I can do now is I can kind of like just cut into it. Oops. Like that. So now it still looks as if it was drawn with a contour. And I'll be doing that throughout the whole thing. I think this dude had a significant wrinkle under his left eye. Maybe adding that will make it feel more like that dude. Just my 2 cents. Not that it doesn't already. Just more. Let me check, man. Oh, like one of these kinds of things? I hate drawing puffs under people's eyes. Like, I just feel like it just makes it like them feel like they're. It's too much reality, maybe. I don't know. I will keep it in. It ages them, though. That's why I didn't want to put it in. Whatever. We'll put it in. Jason wanted it. Okay, maybe we should. Here, I'm going to use a bigger brush so we can speed this up. I'm too zoomed in when I was inking there. That's the other like pitfall of digital. You can zoom in too much and then you're doing needless work. I'm all stuffed up. I can't breathe. Come here. Dude enjoys weekends. What can? No, I don't think you have, Raphael. Yeah, feel free to send it over, man, if you can. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not really. I haven't really been following comics and stuff in a very long time. Just not really. This might sound rough to say, but like interested in comics. So it's like a lot of that stuff, like even that you're talking about, even what you're talking about, I wouldn't have maybe stumbled even. I maybe wouldn't have stumbled upon it because it's just not. It's not. I'm not interested in it, right? So it's like my feed isn't getting filled with stuff related to that. Could be. Could be. Oh, Jack, man. We have an alley cat that stays in Jack's old shelter in the back. I'm sure it's been home to many things. Did Jack ever? I don't even know if you would know this, April. If Jack ever stayed in that doghouse in the back. I don't think I remember him. Well, I don't think I was here when you guys had him. All right, thanks, Raphael. I got it. I just got a notification that you sent that. Appreciate it, brother. Spent half a day on it and he never used it. That sounds right. Actually, I don't know if. Yeah, let's not put shadow in there. This thing's shooting, right? I forgot to turn this off. That's what I mean, right? Yeah, we all have the old comics we used to buy, but we don't buy comics anymore. Yep. I think the last binge I had on comics was manga for sure. It was. Oh, what the hell's the name of it? Let me see if I can find it over there. Uh, it's covered. It was Damn it! What is the name of it? I know the artist was doing another one called I think 21st Century Boys, but the one that I read was it was like another take on Astro Boy. Fuck, what was it called? Astro. I think it was actually just called Astro. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know. That was amazing. Holy hell. That was like probably one of the only comics I've read where I was like, well, not the only, but I got like a reaction to that one. I was like, oh man, this is great. This is great comics. And I wonder if it's just I don't know, like American superhero comics. I just don't. I don't know. I'm not into it anymore. Like I prefer still reading older stuff. I don't know if it was just and like I didn't grow up reading older stuff at all. But the stories and stuff, maybe it's just I'm just disconnected from the stories. I don't know. A lot of modern ones, or maybe I shouldn't say a lot because I really don't read them, so I'm probably very wrong on this. But it's just I don't know. There's just no interest. Some of the characters I see, like I just saw the people were sharing around some new Captain America comic, and it looks like it's some kid with like a trash can. Like again, I don't know the story, but why do I want to read that? Captain America's perfect. Captain America's like one of the sickest comic book heroes, man. Just give me more of him punching bad guys and stuff, or solving crimes, or corrupt governments that he's got to, you know what I mean? Hydra, all these cool things. You can parallel so much of that with today if you want, or if you don't want to, just have him fight friggin' Zola, god dang Nazi, dead Nazi guy in a machine body with a television for a face and a camera for a head. That's fun. You don't even have to have the Nazi part. Yeah, that's not fun. But I mean, you could just skip that part and just, like more of that stuff. I don't know. Again, I haven't read it. I just saw people posting it around. I was just curious when I saw it. I'm like, I don't know if this is for like a new line of comics, or is this just I don't know. I don't know what this is. And then I just finished. I'd say recently, but it's not. Maybe like around Christmas time. That's what the most recent stuff I finished. I just because I bought a bunch of Jack Kirby stuff. His Fourth World. It was okay. Like it wasn't written amazing, but it had a superhero feel to it. And I don't know. I just like that stuff, man. And maybe that's the thing. That's just what I feel like I miss with some comic books, and I'm sure they exist out there, but I wonder how well they sell. Like from a Marvel perspective, DC I never got into. I just skipped all the DC when I was growing up. I just felt like superheroes were cooler at Marvel, so maybe DC's got it all figured out, and they're still doing classic detective Batman stories fighting cool villains. I know some of the stuff I started following. When was the last time I was in it? The last time I was really buying anything, John Romita Jr., and this is going back. I could probably find the date. I don't know it right now, but Ninja Turtles, the comic, was just being rebooted. Or not even rebooted, but I guess it was a reboot, but being drawn again. And I was getting Avengers, but John Romita Jr. was drawing it. And I think they call it like the Heroic Age or something. And I just remember there was some guy named Red Hood. I don't know who that is. And there was the Red Hulk in there. But that felt like an old school comic book. It wasn't like all this high drama or this dark drama. That's the stuff I just don't really care for. And I remember it started getting that way. And Greg Capullo was drawing Batman. So you guys know that big craze. Or maybe you don't. But it was a big deal. And I loved that Batman. It was great. And then it just started getting, I don't know. I think I just got tired of that too. I don't know why. That was when the new 52 was coming out. And I remember I got Superman. I got Green. I got so many number ones because I was like, "This is my way. This is how I'm gonna get into DC. We'll just try it out." And then that was quickly, no thanks. This isn't good at all. I didn't like it. I much prefer Superman being boring and just being that Boy Scout that everybody calls him. That kind of stuff. It's pure. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's just fun. It's just fun. I don't really care about some high drama Superman stuff. And maybe I'm in the minority here. I don't know. But Superman's a cool character. I mean, they're all cool characters, I guess, right? In like some way. It's just I'm not pursuing them, so I don't know how cool they still are. Uh, Oh, they are, Raphael. That's actually hilarious. Okay, I'll add that, and it'll like boost my interest to like watch it a little bit more. Thank you, dude. Who's gay? Who's gay? Watch this. I'm black, and they say I need representation, but nothing they put out represents me. Spider-Man and the X-Men were my heart when I was a kid. That's an interesting perspective, man. I mean, I really don't want to get into this. I just want to be drawn today and saying hi to you guys, but you know, and I don't bring the world into it, but like diversity and I guess just diversity and all that kind of stuff. Like I know I'm gonna be in the minority here. Like obviously, yes, people's opinions matter on things, but I don't think you got to force this stuff, right? I don't know. Is there really that many people fighting against this kind of stuff? Meaning, like, okay, so original Superman comic, right? He's white. Cool. I don't know if you change his ethnicity, if that really changes Superman. Like, do you need to do that? Can you not just make a new Superman? Why do you have to change things? Like, do we need a white Blade? I don't know. Maybe is it just better if he is? Does it affect his character that much? Maybe. I don't know. Do we need pick any race, flip the race, and then say does it make it better? Is that something that was missing? That's where my argument comes from, and it's like most of the time, and I mean maybe I'm just not educated in this, and I'm ignorant. I don't think that's the case, but why can't we just have what we have? And if there's people have issues with things, let's just make new stuff. Isn't that one of the coolest things about being human? We can make new stuff. I don't know. Probably wrong on it. Captain America is gay. What? Steve Rogers is gay? I don't believe that. Now you're being salacious. What do we got? I think what I heard about a new cap that Marvel is working on is making a gay Captain America to appeal to sort of bring some representation to the LBG265 community. Oh, okay. Oh, so he's like a teenager or some kid with like the garbage can shield. Is that what it is? Okay. Well, again, you know what it's funny about that kind of stuff too. Now, again, I said I didn't want to get into it. Now I'm just gonna start rambling. But it's like it's using the branding of like an already established character to do stuff. Like most people don't like that, right? Like if you play video games, Resident Evil I think is a great one. I haven't played a lot. I watch people play like a lot of Let's Plays and stuff because I'm drawn or whatever, and I can't play games as much as I could, right? So it's good to like just watch the stuff or just to stay up to date because I'm interested. Okay, doesn't matter. But it's like a game will come out, and I forget which one it was. Resident Evil, I don't know, we'll say 6 or something like that. It's like if you didn't put the Resident Evil title on there, people wouldn't know it was a Resident Evil game, and they probably would have passed it up. But when you put it on there, it's like, okay, so you start pulling in fans from that thing, right? So I guess my argument here I'm trying to make is why attach something that changes a character, and I don't care the reason why you're changing it, right? Like if there's a legit reason, go ahead. If it's their stories, I mean they can do whatever they want, right? You don't have to like it or agree with it. That's fine too, but it's like if you're going to make like a drastic character change, again, I'll just go back to like a black Superman. I don't care. You know, there's tons of Superman out there, but make a different Superman if that's what you want to do, right? Like it'll be cool. You could have as awesome as Superman is, and then you can make this other character who's pick a different ethnicity because you want to, or whatever language you want to use. They could end up being just as cool or better. So give them a legacy, give them something to be. You know, that stuff takes time and you got to grow with it. Don't just shoehorn onto like a title because you get to like just get all the accolades and stuff that comes packaged with that. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know. I don't know. What the hell are we talking about? I don't even read comics anymore, so I don't even care. It doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter. I think we're all on the same page. Or at least some of us are on the same page here. Garbage Can Kid. If they succeed, they can succeed at the original round. Exactly. That's the part where I get a little like, that's interesting. You know, do what you want to do. I get it. Right? You're gonna piss people off. I get it. I don't think it's right to do, but you can do it. Right? Everybody's allowed to do what they want to do. I guess, like, let's be honest, comics, right? As much as we like, well, some of us probably grew up liking them, right? They're to make money and to tell stories and entertain people, right? So if it still does that, great. we're just not that audience. Apparently, some of us aren't that audience anymore. Which is, I came to that conclusion with what was it, Ninja Turtles, the reboot one, the Michael Bay one. I didn't really care for it. There's some cool parts in there, but like I've got the original Ninja Turtle movie that came out, and I still like it. So if I want to watch Ninja Turtles, that's mine. If this new Ninja Turtle movie gets people into Ninja Turtles again, we all win. More Ninja Turtles is great. So if this weird Captain America thing works, I get it. Again, my only thing, if I have to just keep saying it over and over again, is that it's like I just don't like it when you attach the same title to something, but you're changing. Are you changing the core of it? I don't know. You see how layered this conversation. This isn't a conversation to have just by myself in chat. you know. But I generally lean on the side of like, come on, you don't need to do any of this stuff. Just make your own. Just make your own shit. Okay, April, have fun. Good luck. Love you too. Take care. Also, to further push the point, the gay teen cap won't last very long and won't stay in the 616 universe long. It's only for pandering. And yeah, it's clearly for money, right? Even though people might not see that. They're not entertaining, they preach and indoctrinate. Okay, that's fine. So I'm having a feeling. I have a feeling. I'm just going to put it out here. I got to use the washroom real quick. How many people here are pro Comicsgate? Ew. We'll go down that conversation in a second. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let me just get my headset here. Okay, so the inking's pretty much done. I'm going to do some quick Kirby dots in the background, and then we're going to get to the colors. That should go pretty quick. Let me catch up with you guys. Strider is my... No, it's Gmail. JonathanRector82 at gmail.com. It's all good, monstrositus. I assumed that. That's why I asked it. I like either way. I'll just say this and I'll move on because I don't care either way. Like comics, I was just throwing it out there because it's a fun buzzword. But the part that like I'm not pro or anti Comicsgate. I think it's just if you want to make what you want to. This is my belief. Okay, if you want to, you can make whatever you want to make. Uh, I'm probably gonna fall into it. I always hate that I have to like somehow find hoops of how I'm gonna word something, but it's like labels are ridiculous, right? They make things worse. They don't make things better. But you should be allowed to make whatever you want. So, if Marvel, in this case, right, wants to make gay Captain America a kid, whatever for whatever reason they want to do, right? It doesn't matter sexuality, race, or God bless. You guys go have fun. But we all also have the option to consume it. So do you want to consume it? No. Do you want to consume original kind of content? Maybe your answer is yes, but you can't. That sucks. And I feel you for that, right? I'd love to be able to watch or get old Ninja Turtle content, but I can't. So it sucks. You might not agree with it, and I agree, but it's like a double-edged sword. You don't get to agree with everything and disagree with everything. Maybe you do. I don't know. But regardless, I mean, yeah, I can tell who's interested in this Captain America and who's not. And if you're not, that's okay too. It just sucks, because it's not for us. That's all. What is Comicsgate? From my what is it? From my understanding, all Comicsgate is, you'll find a lot that'll say it's racists and it's a bunch of bigots, and you will you will hear that it's generally white men. I hate that white dudes are being attacked by all this stuff. I'm definitely a white dude, so it doesn't make sense to me. But in any group of people, you're going to have some really bad apples, and you're going to have some really great people. And usually, the bad apples, there's not many of them, and that goes on either side of whatever you want to do. From the core of what I understand, Comicsgate is it's just people that are tired of being told what to read or what they should read, or the only options they get in comics are these options, and they could be anything, right? And you don't like them. So Comicsgate is, it's like, well, we don't want to do any of those things anymore. We want to consume the content we like. So we're going to create that content, and a network is going to form over that of people that like similar interests, and then just make that content with the focus of being on the customer. So, I mean, that little caveat's important, but it's not really, at least the jive or the stones of what I got from Comicsgate. Like I say, there's going to be awful people and everything. So when people say it's just filled with racists and stuff, I know a few people that are in Comicsgate and have left or are still there. They're not. They're not. They're not racists. So again, I know this is something I don't really like bringing up in the stream, just because it just starts getting political, and politics are boring. Like, I'm drawing a guy fighting aliens in space. Let's just have fun, right? But because you asked, that's generally it. It doesn't want to be political, but I think the reason it exists is political. Depending on which side of the fence you sit on that. I don't think there's a right or a wrong. Again, different people are in charge of Marvel in this case. It's not the same as in the 90s or whatever when I was reading it. Maybe one day it'll get there. I don't think so. I think it's just changed until the world's had enough of this kind of stuff. And when I say this kind of stuff, I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean I think there's a place for everything. And the way it used to be isn't there anymore. I don't think it's going to come back. And it's just up to people that want to do something different. And they're going to make something different. And Comicsgate is an example of that. It's a place where you can go to get a specific style of content. Maybe not. That might be wrong. Maybe not a specific kind of content, but there's probably content you won't normally get other places there. Does that make sense? Either way, I would just, again, dog ear that part that it's 100% not a racist, evil group of people. There's probably evil people in the group. Evil's a strong word, but just like in any group, I don't care what group it is. I don't care if you're UNICEF or you're the World Health Organization, or if you're, that's an awful circle. Hell, okay, as a vegan, right? There's what's the group? I can never remember the name. They're actually quite awful. It's not Mercy for Animals. It's something else. It's damn it. PETA, whatever you want to call it. They're awful. They've done some pretty horrible things. They've done some really good things too, but they're pretty bad, right? So it's like even good organizations and stuff. You never know. You never know. You know why? Because it's got human beings in it. And human beings, we come in all shapes and flavors, man. That's all. And it's hard to remember that sometimes. You can get stuck. You can get sucked in, You can get juicy out there. Peter, thank you, Jason. Yeah, it's okay. I eventually got there. By the way, you might need to change the email title. Oh, is it? Okay, thank you. All right. See, other people are straightening me out for me. I appreciate that, Sarah. Thank you. Everything's all old on here. That email, though, I will still get. I still check that email account just as regular. I prefer everything in Gmail. Gmail just seems cleaner. But by all means, you can email me anywhere you want. Okay, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying, monstrosities. Your name is still sick. I still like you. All good. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there. All right, so Kirby Dots. Um, I've talked about it before. I'll talk about it again because people like it. Is you're basically trying, at least the way I look at it, you're trying to figure out eye flow, negative space, right? So I've got some planets here, some fun little planets. Where did I put the other one? I thought I had. Did I delete it? I thought I drew 3. Guess not. Okay. Well, I did right there. I deleted it. All right. So, uh, how do I explain it? I don't want to redraw it. You'll see me do it in action here, but I want to move your eye around. Okay. So I like having that little starburst that Jack liked to do, like with these planets, something like that. And then we're gonna move around in the black zones here. But I have I made a. Where is it? I made a little speed line. I don't know how it's gonna look with it. Yeah, it might work. And what I'll do is we will make a big fat center point for these to go into. Just like a little guide for myself. And we'll get the speed line. And then I'm just sort of flicking this tool here. Probably hear it. Towards that red dot. And this is just going to make it so that once we do get the color, it's going to look like there's a little bit of light flare coming from these things, from the planets. And this is another way to break up the black areas. It's so hard to describe this stuff sometimes because it's like organic. Let's rotate it so I don't just fucking nuke my wrist here. Hey Gordon, welcome. Hey man, I love your work. Do you have an art book? I did make one. Oh man, many years ago. I haven't updated anything or made anything since. If you want to see a whole bunch of my artwork, honestly, my website's probably the best. It's basically a duplication of my Instagram account. That's just at jonathanrector.com. But one day we'll make another book. I don't know if it'll be a comic or what. We'll see. Cool. Look at that. Fancy. You got a little starburst thing here. We're going to repeat this process for all of these bad boys. I used to use a brush for this. And then I thought I would try out in Clip Studio. You get like I don't know if you guys can see this. I know my stream cuts things off, or at least the way I have it formatted. But it's like shapes, so like polygons, curves, Bezier curves, circles, rectangles, right? But you can add a texture to it. So the brushes that I use in my new style, I called them Ryu Kirby. The Ryu is from Street Fighter because Street Fighter is like I would argue the first game like that art style, that Capcom anatomy. I'm a big fan of that overblown stuff, right? So that and then Kirby because that's where my huge inspiration is lately. Anyway, so I have a texture for it, and you can just apply that texture to other things, which is very useful. So that's why this has like a little bit of tooth to it, a little bit of texture. It contrasts the inks that we have so far, but I think it'll be alright, especially once we get to color. Yeah, it's been so much easier to use this to make these speed lines in a brush because it makes it automatically straight. When you're using a brush, I sometimes it would just start making things look a little wacky because the lines would get a little jiggly in places. A little jiggly. But yeah, if you guys are interested, I'm gonna do a little plug now. If you guys want to follow me on Patreon and you want any of these brushes or whatever, they're all available. Even the style that I'm working on right now, and then my newer one. All the brushes are there for you. All right, see, so we're getting some Stiabest. We'll do one more. One more. Van, feel how you want about the idea of Comicsgate, but most of the people that come out in favor represent themselves as assholes. Oh. I mean, I don't want to get into an argument because ultimately I don't care because I'm not part of Comicsgate. And I would definitely agree with you. Some people seem like assholes for sure. One guy I talk about all the time, Donald DeLay. I'm a big fan of Donald. He comes in here. He's a very nice guy, but he's a straight talker and he shoots the shit. I think that's something else too. For some reason, like when I was growing up, and I'm just venting here, Van. But when I grew up, and even now, I still know people, but not as many. I guess you would label them as assholes. They're just straight talkers, and they just didn't really. I guess you'd call them like they didn't have a filter, you know. And I miss those people. Like I'm not that way. At least I don't think I am. But I miss people like that because you could read those people. You know what they meant or what they were trying to say. Now, like even me, I'm stuttering over words because I feel like I need to have context for all my stuff, and I don't know. I grew up in I would say my big time growing up was in the 90s. I miss the 90s so much, man. Like just the way you could talk and stuff. But anyway, I'm not trying to throw Donald under the bus here. I'm just saying he's one guy from Comicsgate that I know, not in real life, but like digitally and stuff. And before even Comicsgate was a thing, and I would classify him as an asshole in terms of the type of people I was just talking about, but I don't say that in like a negative way. I do think people can be abrasive in the way they speak, and it's okay. I think people can attack when they feel like they're attacked and stuff, right? That maybe that's what you're talking about. Maybe that's a little different. Not sure. Hey Mads, welcome, Van. That's actually a really good comparison with pita, John. I can't even read pita. I always say pita bread. I hadn't thought of that one. Pita. It's what I'm saying, man. It's humans. Like that's the problem, man. Like when you're dealing with human beings, they're just so like. Of course, nobody wants to be a jerk. Nobody wants to upset. Well, I guess there are people that do want to upset people, but I think genuinely people don't like. People just don't care. We just want to do our own thing and just not be left alone. You know, you want to help some stuff, and you know, you be a nice person. Of course, cool. Do all those things. I don't think anybody Again, I don't want to say I don't think anybody because I'm already thinking in my head. I probably know a few people that, you know, they just had shitty lives or something, and they do really want to just break people down. Okay, cool. But like human beings in general, we're capable of some awesome stuff, some really cool things. At the same time, man, we do some pretty bad stuff, right? So it's humans, man. We can get better and we can get worse. And I don't think we'll ever win it. I don't think we'll ever change. I think that's just natural human behavior, as much as it sucks. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone on that. Maybe I'm being negative. At the same time, too, I do think people need to toughen up a bit. And I know just saying that could piss some people off, right? Because there are people that think, and you're allowed to. I'm not telling you can't, but there's people that think you shouldn't have to worry about certain things, you know, like just let people be people, and if just mind your own business and move on, sure, right? But it goes both ways. There's definitely lots of people that want you to bend to what they want you to do. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that, right? Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, but when it's counter to what they want or what they think, you're not allowed to do that anymore? Good or bad? Good or bad? Anyway, we're going to get some Kirby dots going on here. I can be an asshole, but it doesn't make me a bigot or... Okay, so that's... Like, Monstrous, he comes in here talking in caps, right? So you know this guy. I don't know. He's been civil in here. He's been nice. But, I don't know. I don't know if that makes him a bad guy. I don't know the guy enough. He seems fine so far. And I don't think anybody's naturally attacking it, but I would... My argument, I guess, would be for pro Comicsgate in terms of Trust me, when I first started hearing about Comicsgate, I looked into it. I was looking like everybody else. I'm like, what is this? Why is this? What's going on? Aren't comic books just nerd things, right? Like, why are we getting all crazy here? What's going on? And people feel attacked and all that stuff. I get it. I understand. But I did some research. I looked around, and the stuff I found, I'm like, I don't like. Yeah, I might not agree with people, but I didn't find a majority of people to be racist or anything like that. But again, maybe I looked at the wrong stuff. Trust me, I've tried to look into this stuff, and again, maybe the algorithms in my YouTube and stuff are showing me things that I want to see, not things I need to see. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Strider, same here, man. Look at your bro here. I totally miss the 90s so very much. My wife as well. She actually has been pulling up a lot of 90s shows we watch. Oh, man. What are you watching? I just tried to get my fiance into Married with Children, and they pulled that off. Was it Amazon? She was starting to get into that. Married with Children. Whew, you want to talk about a good show. Oscar, welcome. Thank you. Appreciate that. America says you have the right to be. I guess, yeah. I mean, the world should be that way, I think. I don't know. Just because assholes do suck. I don't think anybody's going to disagree with that. But I don't know. I think sometimes the world needs assholes too. What are we talking about now? We're going everywhere, guys. All right, let's get some Kirby dots going here. Let's put them in. I think I might try to bring some of this white over here too. See if we can, just to see what this looks like. Just to connect them, you know? Yeah. I'll add that texture back in here because that looks a little slop show. It's funny, man. Like, I know I'm going in here and I'm adding this. Have you guys ever tried coloring your own work? So many of the things you noodle over, like little details, they just disappear when you're coloring, and it's like, why did I spend so long making that line perfect? It's so weird. It's like you're drawing in black and white, so you see it in a version of itself, but not how it's going to end. Very, very hard to break out of. All right, get some more of these guys in here. I guess I could talk about what I'm thinking about when I'm doing this. So, I've cut in these shapes here, right? So when I think about these Kirby dots, at least the way I was understanding it, and I'll keep growing on this for sure, is like I'm not just putting in black dots. Like it might just look like I'm going black dots, black dots. But what I'm thinking of are I'm trying to cut into this white shape because this white shape is like assume it's fire. So by cutting in, it's making the line go like instead of the line being like this for fire, it's now making it like this. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. When I started doing it this way or looking at Jack's pencils and stuff and trying to see that, I don't know, it was like a light bulb. Whether or not they look good, I'm not sure, but I know they could look better. But it just changed the way I looked at. Whoops, that's a spike. It just again like a light bulb that went off, going like, oh, that's okay. It's changing the opposite shape of what I thought it was changing. I thought just adding the Kirby dots was like just adding dots in the white spots, and it could be, but for me, when I started trying it or thinking of it a little differently, it was just like, oh my god, okay, now we're cooking. Starter, I have one rule in life, and I don't think it's an unreasonable one. Once, once what you enjoy doing. Sorry. What you enjoy doing doesn't affect others in a negative way, then continue. Uh, that's an interesting. I think you're right. Well, you can be right. It's your opinion. You know what I mean? Uh, but I guess the only caveat I would add for that, personally, is what if something you enjoy affects somebody negatively, but not in the way you think it's negative? Does that make sense, or does that sound way too layered? Here's an example. Let's say you like, and I highly recommend everybody getting a thrash metal. It's the best metal. Well, let's say you really enjoy thrash metal and you get your guitar and you're just going nuts. And it's, I don't know, 2 in the afternoon, but your neighbor just hates it. They work the night shift. They're like, man, come on, can you not shred? So do you just quit playing guitar? Now, I mean, I get it. My immediate answer is like, okay, we'll just play at a different time or go somewhere else. But maybe my point's getting across a little bit. It's like, what level of negativity are we talking here? Because I don't think it's just a blanket statement of like negativity. Because like if you look around, man, I don't know about you guys, but it just seems like everybody's getting like what do they call it? Cancel culture. I'm not a fan of that, by the way. But it's like you can just get knocked out for if you do something somebody doesn't like, and you get some momentum on that. Whew, good luck. We're getting this is the man politics again. It just always finds its way back into this crap. I guess I could just shut this off and just not respond. Man, I'll agree with you about straight shooters. I'm actually one of those people that tends to be thought as of too honest, not to argue, but I would just say there's a difference in being honest and trying to purposely upset people with what you're saying to get a reaction. Oh, sure, yeah, man. Like, shit disturbers, people that stir the pot, yeah, they're not enjoyable. I'll agree with you there, but they exist, right? I guess the only argument I would have there, not that you're trying to make an argument about this stuff. I don't want to put words in your mouth here, but it's like, but I don't think those people shouldn't still be able to stir the pot. Like they're allowed to, right? So just do it. Just don't engage or listen to them. That's the part I guess I struggle with is a lot of people like the cancel fucking stupid word cancel culture, right? But just like canceling or shutting people down because they don't like what they're hearing. But like at the same time, you could just it's like what we're all talking about with like this Captain America stuff, or maybe we're not all talking about that. But it's like if you don't like it, just don't consume it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Just move on. I guess there's the other counter argument to that, and then I'm gonna stop here because I know this is just gonna keep going. What if I just choose not to put? Should I still be able to sell my book? Yeah, why not? If I choose not to put gays or trans in my book, should I still be able to sell my book? Of course. Of course. I know that where you're going to go with that, where it's like, I think there's people that think that it's that diversity thing where it's like, if you don't have it, you shouldn't be able to sell it or anything like that. I strongly disagree with that, but just make what you want to make and have fun. If you want representation or something, by all means, lots of people that are willing to help out. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of little juicy Kirby in here. I didn't want to put too much, but I'll be honest with you guys. I'm not really feeling this background. I think because there's a lot going on, it feels kind of lost. But when we get to the color here, we'll see how this really comes together here. Okay, so I'm gonna duplicate all of that, and we're gonna go into color, and we'll merge everything together. The white. Now in this one, I don't know if we did I? I don't know if I changed the line art to blue. Let me see. No. Oh, whoops. Okay, one here, and then we go into the color layer. Turn all this magic off. We didn't. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. What color is this dude? Whoops. Reference. So I made him like this. Blue. I think I might just pump up that blue a little bit. Pump Pump it up, don't stop. I want get to it, get on the floor tonight. We're just gonna flood fill, just drop this everywhere. The freedom of flats in Clip Studio Paint, eh? Holy cannolis. There we go. Got Reed Richards ready to go in space. I don't know. They could be planets or stars. I'm sure I'll color them like stars, to be honest with you. They did start off as planets, yes. When we get to coloring, I could it's probably appropriate to make them planets. We'll add some color to them. And what this is, what I'm doing here for those that maybe are new and they don't follow my stuff regularly. Okay, so comic flats suck. I don't know anybody that likes them. They take too much time. They're boring. They're not fun. So what I like to do is, I know some people like to make pixel perfect flats. I just don't have the time, or I just don't care about that. My excuse, if you need like a reason to justify it, you could, by all means, God bless, go ahead and make the cleanest, crispest color flats you want. Okay, but it's been my experience that so long as your flats aren't totally wacky, meaning like there's giant chunks of white. Let me see if I can find an example where there might be some. All right, well, I'm kind of cleaning them up, but here, let me just fill this in. Okay, so these white spots here, honestly, I could look past those. These ones, nah, not really. And the reason for that is because I haven't had anything. I've had a few things printed that are larger, but anything that gets printed, you don't see them. They just disappear. So going in there and spending all day making, like, look at this. You see all these little cracks and stuff? Some people will go in there, and if you do, God bless, do your thing. They'll clean all this up because they make selections and they do all that. My coloring style, I don't do that. I just add a shadow and a highlight layer and I walk away. That's just the style that I draw in, right? So what I'm doing is that shape is this guy's shape. It's like all of him. So what I'll do is I'll make another layer, and on Clip Studio, there's a little button here called Clip to Layer Below. Or you could hold, it's not here. In Photoshop, there's the exact same one, except you could also move your mouse in between the layers and hold Alt, and it'll turn into an arrow, and it'll merge it like this. You see how this one's got this red line? Photoshop, it'll be a little down arrow. What that lets you do is, let's say I wanted to pick the next color, red, and I'm still doing my color flats, right? I can willingly, like, I'm moving this way outside here, right? So if I turn this off, that's what it looks like. But it just clips it inside of it. So it just lets you bunch things together quicker. That's just how I like to work. It speeds things up pretty fast. What's that? We started watch a lot of 90s shows that didn't last long, but were really good. This one, Thea is one, and another one is Between Brothers. Between Brothers. That sounds familiar. Icon, what should I draw? Do you got like a genre or something? Yeah, that's a good question too. Jason's asking, do you want to draw for fun or do you want to challenge yourself? Okay. What other color we got? This. Even that, I'm not really. I think I sampled the colors from the United States Space Force. But, yucky. I like a little more saturation in my life. Okay, so I'm going to keep this reference up here because I'm not quite sure what on him I had colored certain things. So definitely his shoulder pad is getting this. There. You have to have sound effects when you're doing this because I'll go there. Okay, well, I think that was it for that. I might actually add some on his helmet here, just to bring that color in here. His wax base helmet. And then we're going to get some juicy yellow. Really saturate the hell out of that. Go there. What else was yellow here? These boys. Not really much, huh? Huh. I think I covered up a bunch, so that's why I can't see it. And then, did we do anything white? No, that was it. I think that's it. Super simple colors. All right. All right, so let's do his face. We're going to put like an overlay layer on that. Let me bring this guy up, pick his skin color. Boom, drop it in. Get sloppy. How long have we been streaming for, boys? 3 hours. I'm not done yet. Ugh. Come on. We can do it. We're almost there. Actually, let's put some, yeah, I'll give him I wanted some white in here just to make it more like the traditional hero look, right? Where it's all like primary colors and then like a white. Boom. Oh my god, not like that. Yeah, something like that. All right, what color hair is this guy got? Is it all brown? Brown, brown, brown? I don't know, is that? Yeah, okay, fine. Pick a skin color, we'll go a little darker. Let's select that blue. I can't really tell his eye color. Feel like it's maybe blue. We'll go safe and just make it like a brown. Cool. All right, we'll get a color for the gun. You're saying brown too? Browntown? Browntown gun? Okay, I think what we'll do is we're going to bring in some white on the gun. Because I want more white in there. Just because it's part of that Space Force color scheme. We'll go something like that. Boom, boom, boom. Get these out there. And maybe these iron sights up here. And then the rest of the gun, maybe we just do like a gray. Actually, okay, let me get my color wheel over here. A gentleman's hazel. Alright, so orange is a complementary color, but that's probably going to be the gun color. Or the blast coming out of it. We could go yellow. Yellow might pop. That'll leave red and purples for the bad guys. Or maybe greens and purples for the bad guys. Okay, so yeah, so we'll go yellow. Well, we already got yellow. We're going to do it anyway. Alright, so we'll pick the yellow we got here. I'm just going to hue shift it down a bit. And we're just going to put it in here, see how it looks. We can always change it after. It's like a mustard. Isn't that always a good color for a gun? Mustard. Alright. It's not awful. Maybe, okay, we're going to bring in some of that yellow, I think, too. Make a new layer, and let's bring in some of this. Boom, 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 boom. Just to break up the mustard. And we're just going to drop in a couple hits. Just like that. Right? Make it look more complicated than it really is. There we go. There we go. We will slap some back here, too. What do you think? Yeah, that's nonsense. Oops. All right. Don't mind it. Okay, actually, and then we're going to put this yellow too. Yeah. There we go. Perfect. Not really. Okay, so we're going to make a new layer, and we'll put blending modes and all that fun jazz in here eventually. I'm going to put this underneath the gun, like that. Just make a big gross selection. Right, so we got a big laser. Strider, hey, how do you add that mild grainy look to your completed work? Oh, that's for secrets. 1 second, I'll show you. Oh, I don't really need to show you. It's I made a. I'll show it to you, but I just made a texture. I'm pretty sure I looked online for some paper textures. Clip Studio has some cool stuff. And then I just paste it on every piece that I draw. Yeah, maybe we'll go a little more white here too. If you're interested in getting it, head on over to patreon.com/ is it Scribble? I don't even know what mine is. But you can get it on my Patreon. If you're anybody that's a $3 or more backer, I say backer like it's Kickstarter, but supporter. I usually post like 1 to, I don't know, 5 PSDs or Clip Studio Paint layered files. So if you're interested in that, you can get that. Like the one I just posted was Augustus, my Iron Sworn solo RPG character. As you can see, he's fantastic. So it's right here. Can you guys see the layers? Let me see. What the hell am I streaming? Yeah. Okay. So you won't be able to see settings and stuff, but like the workflow, like that, like I'm doing right now, is a little bit different. But with my traditional stuff, it's just the colors, like you see, and then I add a special effects layer on top. That's got some other things, whatever. But the old school one, it doesn't look like anything. But inside, I don't know why I have a hue and saturation layer, but it's like this Clip Studio Paint. I don't know. Apparently they have a whole bunch of textures. Like a seam you can kind of see in there, which sucks, but it's there. And then I have these other textured layers that I've made, and then level adjustment, I guess. So now you can't even really see it, but when you put it over, like here's the color, like just without any special effects done, like that. When you turn it on, boom, it all of a sudden has like this cool paper texture to it. And that's it. I think it lends really well to this style. Sometimes it looks kind of weird with like, the thing I'm currently working on, but yeah. If you have Clip Studio, by all means, check out over here. Like you can go, I don't know what this is, your materials or something. Fiddle around in here. There's like, is it textures? It's somewhere in here. Image material? Yeah, maybe something here. Just click around. You can just like drag this stuff right on top. I didn't know you could do this until I started messing around. This is just like the scale of the detail. I don't know if you can tell. Let me see. If you zoom in, you see all those dots. You make it bigger, they get like that. Right? You can just, that's sand, right? You can just play with the opacity and stuff. You can just play around with it. But yeah, that's probably why I have the levels and stuff, because I'm trying to push it. Because when you add a lot of those textures, it darkens things big time. Would you like to see some of my work sometime? I'll do my best to check it out, man. That's the hotness, my man. That's an awesome character. We like that. Thank you, man. Mr. Leadfoot, welcome too, by the way. Okay. So we got this guy. We got flats to keep doing. All right, so I need to make a decision. This is where the decisions come in. So this guy, if you guys can't see it, but I went to just an arts and crafts store, and they sell, it's called like a pocket color wheel. I grabbed it when I was thinking I was going to try messing around with some watercolor. I think I tried once and then I stopped. But this color wheel, I'm trying. Like I know you get a color wheel here in Clip Studio, but I like just grabbing this thing and looking at it. I don't know why. It just makes it feel a little bit more real. So I'm looking at it, and so this guy. I mean, here, I'll grab the color wheel over here. It's a little different than what I'm looking at, but you guys kind of see what my thought is. So he's blue, right? He's blue, and the complementary right across is yellow, right? Which is weird because on this color wheel I have, it's orange. It's more like this way, I guess. But anyway, so those are the two colors that we're using there. His gun is like, it's still floating over here, so it's not too far. And the light, it's over here. And whites, grays, and blacks don't count. They're like neutrals, right? So that's what we have. So that leaves, what's the composition we want here? We have a complementary palette going on pretty much, right? We could do split complementary. So if we're like, I would assume blue is the primary one here. So we could go orange and yellows, which is kind of doing, and then over here to like the pinks and reds, which is kind of cool because, bad guys, they're always like red, but you also get the green, right? So what I'm thinking of doing is I might just go traditional here, and we're going to make it that what is this? I don't even know the name of these things. That's how much I know about. It's a triad, I think. A triad! Yeah, we're going to do a triad. So, I don't even think it's a triad. I think because there's 4 colors we're going to use. It's called a tetrarad. A tetrad. Okay, so we're gonna make a triad tetrad, meaning, so the 2 colors I get to pick are kind of complementary. It's like Christmas colors, red and green, right? So aliens, we're going to go green. Background, we're going to go hot reds. So let's get our hot reds in there now. And so I'm going to pick a hot red. And we're going to, I'll shut up. I'm going to pick like a desaturated. We're just going to fill that bad boy. See, it's not awful. The reason I'm going a little bit more desaturated and stuff like that is because that lets us pull highlights out of it, like brighter hot reds and stuff like that. And then the aliens, I don't want to go full green, but like a nice desaturated one. And we're gonna play a little bit more with these ones too when we get in there. Strider. Back when I was getting into doing digital work, Mr. Chumba told me he usually added a Gaussian bleu at a certain percentage. I do that as well. Seeing your work, it really inspires me a lot, man. Thanks. I appreciate that. I'm glad it gets you hot to draw. Thank you for doing these videos. Yeah, no problem, man. I love you too. So here's the other secret sauce. I guess I'll show you guys. Again, if you download all these files, you too can have access to all of them. So right here, what I do, so when I have the color layer, right, like this is what you guys are seeing. It's just flat colors. This could be fine. I could walk away. But when I go special effects, so I do the special effects, right? So here's what it looks like. I duplicate this layer, and let's put a like 100. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you guys here, right? So we take that layer. It's all one layer, and we go filter, blur, Gaussian blur. No, yeah. And I usually go like 60. Depends on your resolution, but I want you to see how blurry this puppy gets, right? Like drunk. You're drunk. And then we go to overlay, and it's pretty muddy. I usually drop it down to about 30%. This is your flexibility. You can do whatever you want. And then when I drop my texture on it, it lightens it a little bit, but then it just adds it. And the reason why I like that blur, let me show you here. It kind of mimics 2 things. One, like the old print style, but it also, remember I said like, I don't like getting into the nitty-gritty details of getting rid of all the whites in my flats. When you blur it, it kind of pushes it together. But like, it also blends colors together. Let me turn this texture off, right? So, like, look right here. Just in this area right here. I'll turn it on and off for a while. There's blues. There's like a yellowish or a reddish cream kind of color, than Kang's purple glove, right? And we turn off, it's just a soft thing, but it also bleeds into the line work too, right? And you could play with that. You could go like, if you want to, you can make it real soft. It just adds like a little glow to it. Another thing you could do, I did this sometimes, is a screen if you really want to, beef it up this way. Right? It makes it seem a little bit more dreamy, like a little bit more magical, I guess. And when you drop that texture on there, it still looks good. But it's a little bit more, and again, you could pick whatever you want. It's up to you. I usually go a little darker, but like the light's not awful. Maybe what I should start doing is both. Look at that. If we go overlay 30%, And screen 30%. How's that look? So this is what it is now. Yeah, maybe I'll start doing that. Doesn't look awful. And to be fair, I do like cartoony, colory kind of stuff, like like high saturated things. I get in trouble a lot with that at work, right? Because if you don't have mid ranges, everything just. My brother said it perfectly. When everything's bright, nothing's bright, and it just looks like the image is yelling at you in all caps. Words of wisdom. I never forget that. But I like it. It's like Super Mario World. I love that. I want everything to be bright greens and blues. Hot red. Yeah. No problem. This is another great piece. Kang is awesome. I'll be honest with you guys. The reason I drew that Kang was that card game that I like to play, Marvel Champions, came out, and Kang was a villain that got released, and I was like, oh man, I love Kang. Let's draw some Kang. He's got a really wacky design, right? Fun. It's fun. He's fun. So we drew him up. And plus, I was looking through my art as one does, and I'm like, man, I don't have enough Captain America. We need more Cap. Favorite superhero? It used to be the Hulk. And Captain America just blew up for me. Probably because of all the conspiracy theories and stuff that I like. You know? He just goes right into that. Okay, so I want to make these a little bit different here, right? So the foreground, it's going to get a little darker. So we're going to pull the green down like that, and then we're going to desaturate it. I don't want to fully saturate this guy. Maybe we will. I don't know. And we'll just fill this in. So now we're getting some separation, right? We're getting some shape. These guys in the background, I think maybe just this one dude in the background. This one. So we're going to pull it a little hotter. Hot red. No. Yeah. That way. That way we got a little... that might be too bright. Yeah, I don't like that at all. What if we just... Maybe it's just a slight one. I think it's because these guys are too bright to start with. Yeah, maybe something like that. End game. Ugh. Okay. Let's get... We need some more colors for these guys. So these guys are like the local colors here. So we're going to have that. I think we'll still play. I'm going to bring this over a little bit into the blue. I don't want to go too nuts with these colors, but just to get like this little under meat color. These are for his lips too. We're just going to basically make these guys all about greens. Simple stuff. Bob Ross, this kind of thing. There we go. Gives little spiky spikes. Okay. So there we go. That's all we need. And we're just going to mirror this on all of these guys. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, right. That guy's a little different. Okay. So good there. We got that color. Let's get the dark color. Smack. And smack. Alright, make a new layer. Okay, so this guy up here, he's the same but kind of desaturated, right? Okay, so he's only got two colors here, so one color actually, cool. Alright, so it's like this eye color, so I'm just going to keep pushing it desaturated. Right, because his details should be lost the further he is behind everything. Shouldn't be as detailed as things that are closer to us. Strong voice. Strong, confident voice. Okay, so what do we do here? This was his color, and we went all the way over there. So bang, 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 bang. We'll go here. We'll bring that down a little bit more. Go over here. put these in here and we'll see how they look. Whoops. I like it. Maybe we'll drop that a bit. Cool. All right, so we got the aliens done. I might need to pop them up a little bit just to make sure, but it could be the background that's causing the issue here. The issue I have is it's kind of looking a little bit like Lost. Sartor, are you familiar with Iron Pinky's work? He did art for the Street Fighter versus Darkseid. It sounds familiar, the guy's name. It's turned between building my salad around him and Joe Mad. Oh man, okay, so Joe Mad's one of those guys everybody chases to draw like him because it's so sick. I was definitely one of those guys too. Maybe I still am. I don't know. But his work is just too good, and so many people try to emulate it for good reason. I'm not saying don't. Do what you do what you want to do. It's just it can get a little super competitive, and the thing is, I think a lot of people are used to it by now. So when they start seeing people that look like emulators of Joe, like I know him, they start to just turn a little bit of a blind eye to it, maybe. So I'm actually coloring this right now a little bit more like how I would color my current stuff, which is not what this project is. But I think I might be able to, I don't want to say fix it or save it or anything like that, but because of the retro nature of it, I think we might be all right. I was hoping to save this black in the background to like leave it black, but like I say, I might need to adjust it a tad. We'll see. We'll keep going. We'll see how this goes. All right, so bring this up here. I think we're just gonna go with making them just balls of energy, like instead of planets, just to keep the color palette a little, together. I'm using my color wheel. I don't like to trust it all the time. So like it works a lot, but sometimes something just looks good, so you go with it over what you're supposed to do. At least that's what I like to do. So I'll do a color. Oh, no, not yet. Not yet. We'll do a gradient map. You'll slap these in here. Sometimes see, like even purple looks pretty strong. I don't even mind that. Purple might be the way to go. No, there's too much blue in this piece already. Ooh, look at that. Like fire in the background. I don't mind that one either. Got choices, friends. That's pretty cool. That looks like it's already got effects put on it, like glowing effects and things. Green. We're just lost in space. Green might be alright. Make the monsters red. I'm gonna try that. We're gonna do green just for shits and giggles right now. Let's select all of the monsters and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go layer, correction layer, gradient map. Let's put the red. How do they look red? I don't think so. Purple. Nah. Okay. So green is out. What was that red we had? This one? My eyes bounce all around a lot with this. I don't know if that's a bad thing though. I think I might like this one. It's kind of like Halloween in the background a little bit more, right? I see your point about people chasing Joe Mad. I'm so proud of him. He's come a long ways. I love seeing him and Tim Townsend doing inks on the Age of Apocalypse. Man, I missed all of that stuff. I got into him in Battle Chasers. That was my first introduction. And like I said, actually at the start of the stream here, it's like seeing superhero Final Fantasy was insane. So I'm with you. I understand the adoration. Just trying to find a different color for the blast coming out. Maybe it's fine. Let me try something here. I think something that's throwing me off. This is like the boring stuff. Sorry, guys. Is I want to put this over top. I'm going to have to blend some of this stuff together. We'll see. Okay, I think. Not sure. Not sure. Usually by now I kind of know. I don't want to make the background too bright, and I do like the evil kind of feel that it has. I say we go with the gut. Let's do it. Oh, I always forget this, man. I always forget the little part of the gun, the handle or the trigger. Okay, so we're going to grab a light blue, and we're going to draw over everything. Actually, let's do red just so I can see it. I'll show you what this is for in a second. Well, what I'm doing is I'm just trying to make like a visor color. And we're going to set it to like screen or overlay or something. Alright, so go like the screen or something like that. So it's just so it washes it behind it a bit, you know, like he's in something here. Maybe something like that. At least so we can add some shading and stuff like that to it. Okay. I think we're just gonna push forward on here and say this is it. Let's get ready. Okay, so we got our color, and so what we do now is I'm gonna make a new layer here. I'm gonna pick, I think it's purple. That's what I've been. It goes back and forth, I guess. Okay, so we're gonna go purple and multiply and do our shading. So I'm just going to look at what our image is looking like, right? So his gunshot's probably causing the most light. So we're gonna do like everything's shadowed on this side. So let's just get it nice and simple, right down the middle. And we could push this over to make it look like it's kind of rounded out. You know what I mean? And we're gonna shade it this way, because the light is under him. And I think like all of his arm back here is probably going to be in shadow. cut out some light too, so it'll be okay. Some highlights on the knuckles. Get some texture there. Something like that. So you can see, like, just very subtle and quick. You can just put it on there and you start getting some form. We're using, you know what? Let's see what this blue looks like. This might not work well. Yeah, nah, it's gotta be purple. Blue, there's just too much blue. Too much blue. Thank you, Icon. Appreciate it. Funny what just like a layer of shadow, like a single layer of shadow, does to something. You know, like it was so simple when we started, and now we're getting some volume. It's like my favorite part. Takes a little bit of time, not nothing too crazy. We'll also be adding in like what's it called, like some rim light. Nothing nuts, but just a little bit. This workflow, like I said a little earlier, the whole reason I've got to where I am with this right now is I'm trying my best to make it so things don't take forever. So I've looked at other people that I enjoy, simpler styles and stuff, and just try to just focus on that. Because I'm definitely a guy that doesn't like to spend a lot of time on stuff. I get distracted too easy. There's too many, there's too much things, too many things you can do with your time. And that's one of the heartbreaks of comics, man. You know, like one day of your life equals, let's assume, one page of comics, and that's what, like a minute, 2 minutes on average for a reader. Yikes! So one day of your entire life for a fraction of a moment for somebody else. I guess the only rewarding part is that it could be many people that are reading it, right? So it's like, all right, well, I guess that equals out. I'm getting lots of moments of people's lives for a story. And you're telling a story, so it's got different rewards. I'm just saying, in general, I just don't, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many other things to do. Just get in, get out. Do your best, do something cool, and then go do something else. Go do something else that's cool. If you want. You might not be like me. You might want to just make the best looking stuff in the world. I wish you the best. Have fun. just cause. All right, now these are going to these are going to go a lot simpler. I'm going to add a little bit of anatomy, even though it's just a costume. So this is the light. The light's hitting like that. All the heavy detail stuff's already done on this guy. So we get to just sort of relish in the fact that we're almost done. This guy, which means we're one step closer to being done, which is always a good step. I think we'll just put all of this in shadow back here. Let me try something. And then we'll just cut a little bit of light here, almost like a rim light, because it's closer to the gunshot and something like that. You know what I mean? Boom. Mr. Leadfoot, Darwin Cook's Parker is a good example of a quick style, and the book is amazing. Better than comics that are highly detailed. My humble opinion, man. You know, I'd argue that. I think you're not wrong, but I've talked to some people that read comics and don't draw them, and a lot of people, they just like good art. You know what I mean? So it's like you could do something simple and it's like, but this guy really knows how to draw. Look how sick it is. Like, people are really obsessed with how good something looks. I guess arguably if simple looks good to you as well, then it's the same kind of thing. But no, I hear you. It's taken me a while to come around to the simple stuff. That's for sure. Actually, what the hell? I forgot to put shading on this guy. Okay. I'll just phone in a little bit of the background here. Hey, no, man. I was glad to have you in here. Enjoy your food. I'll see you next time, man. Appreciate it. I'm just gonna put a little like texture in here. Maybe it'll look like, I don't know, something more detailed in here than there really is. There we go. Okay, so that then we just go back down. Like I said, this is the whole reason I like to work with doing my flats this way, because I can just add, my shadow to each separate thing. I don't have to worry about making selections or anything. And to be fair, I'm sure I'm missing out on a lot of really cool things I could be doing with the art. One thing that I'll do here, I'm not sure if I have time, because I think I'm going to be wrapping this up soon, but is I have a smooth watercolor brush that I use to blend some of these shadows to give them softer edges. What I'm trying to do there is like anything that's a core shadow, I'm just smoothing, making it soft, as opposed to a cast shadow. So like a cast shadow is something that's casting a shadow onto something. A core shadow would be something that's properly lit. So let's say, for example, this guy, his body down here that I'm drawing, that's a coarse shadow. It's away from the light. His lips right here are casting a shadow onto his body. Does that make sense? So if I have time, you'll see it before I go. Just trying to change that for cast shadows. Or for core shadows. Jeez. Just so they look a little different. So it's not all just like cell shaded. All we're going to do is like another layer of highlight. What's that, Miss Leftfoot? Your new style has really grown on me. Oh, thank you. I think you're not alone on that. I've had a few close friends. They were pretty adamant on letting me know what they thought. It was just like, it looks like you don't know how to draw and all those things, and that's fine. But I think to their point, I hadn't shown an example of like how I'm coloring right now. That here's an example I'm talking about. See how it just softens this line up a little bit. Almost looks like an airbrush, but it's like I knew in my mind what the coloring would look like, and it's been my experience through everything I've done that I've colored and drawn over the years that like color dramatically changes everything you do. And if you're coloring your own stuff, you get that flexibility to change how you draw. It's all like a functioning piece together. But boy, is it hard. Sometimes you got to just stick with it. Go like, I know it's gonna get better. Right now, not so much, but I know it'll get a little better, right? Oh shit! One thing I forgot here. Okay, so I'm gonna go multiply. So I'm adding another layer of shadow on top of this. There's two kinds of shadow we're gonna do here. One is like deep shadows. I don't really do this one. It's like just in specific spots, just to round out certain things. You don't spend a lot of time on it. And then one more just to push things a little back. And I only do this in this style. I don't do this with my newer one. Maybe I will one day, but so we got a little bit of shadow in here just to push that eye back. Just simple stuff. Nothing too nuts. Like maybe back here because it's further in. Not further in. It's further away from the light source, but it's also like in darkness a little bit more, like all in here, like inside earlobes kind of thing is what you're looking for. So do like that. It's a small subtle thing, right? If I turn that on and off, but it adds just a hit without taking a whole bunch of time, which we don't want to do. Maybe we'll add just a little bit over here too. Down here. I probably should do no. I was gonna say I probably should be doing this with my new style, but I find with the flats and the curvy kind of look to it, simple is a little bit better. Part of me's even thought of not adding any of this kind of shadow at all to the new stuff, but I don't know. Sometimes you kind of need it, I think. All right, then we're going to make one more layer, multiply, and then this one here, we're going to make a little selection. So like what I want to do is I really want to just make sure that this guy's leg is further back. Even, yeah, just that, it's fine. So grab an airbrush. I'm just going to, I don't like because once you see it this way, it's kind of like you should be doing it everywhere. I'm just going to make it a little darker. Put back here a little bit more too. Let's lower the opacity a bit. Yeah, something like that. Okay, Van, dude, it definitely doesn't look like you don't know how to draw. You have to have some knowledge of how anatomy and shape work to make it. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. People could say the same about Mike McNolan Cheeks or Bruce Timm. They no. Well, that's yeah. Hey, Euro, welcome, buddy. Haven't seen you in a while. I think just it's I don't know a polite way of saying this without sounding ignorant. Okay, so I'm just gonna say I'm saying this coming from a place of non-ignorance. Is certain styles that people draw in influence how well people think you can draw or your potential perhaps, right? So maybe what I'm doing right now, or like I'll say my Jessup King or my older stuff, which is similar to what you're looking at right now. It's like I have to draw a little bit more detail or certain different things in order for it to, I don't know, just the look that it has, right? But the problem is when you switch to a simpler style, like let's say I started drawing like Mickey Mouse or even, the stuff I've been drawing lately, it's like people know what you're capable of, and when you're not doing that anymore, it looks like you're taking a step back. And it's fine because I think like people are all entitled to their own opinions. I just think that most often you shouldn't listen to them. Maybe that's not always good words of wisdom. You should always listen to what like people are suggesting for you, but you gotta play this game of when's a good moment to just tune them out. Because I definitely think people have, well, some people have your best interests at heart. Just depends who you're talking to, I suppose. I don't even know where I was going with that. I'm like stuck right now and trying to figure out where I'm gonna put some highlights. I'm just like, I checked, I checked out. Yeah, let's not do that one highlight. Thanks, man. I hope to stream more as much as I can. It's difficult with the little guy, and life being the way it is right now. So we'll do what we can with what we got. We'll have some fun while we're doing it. All right. So this highlight here, it's almost done. I'm going to add like another spotlight in a second, or not a spotlight, a rim light, I should say. So make a new layer. I'm going to use the same brush, the same color, but we'll change it, and you'll see how that'll look. I don't know. Maybe it'll be red because of the background. I don't know. We'll adjust some of the stuff here. So add glow. This is just to help round some forms out and stuff because they can get lost, especially when you're going too dark like this. I don't want to put it on everything, just some of the stuff that I want to like pull out here. So how old is your little guy? And are you guys able to get by during this pandemic? Yeah, so far we've been fine. There was a little hiccup when COVID hit, but yeah, no, so far everything's good, and he will be 2 in June already. Ugh. Okay, I think I'm gonna make this red, just because the background seems pretty pretty fiery. And yeah, okay, so we go there. We're going to put a little clipping mask on that. There's so many steps. So many steps. We're just going to sort of fade some of this back. I don't want it so like in your face. Just a hint. Just a kiss. And even on him, we're going to clip that and then just a little eraser in here just to lighten some of this up. Boom, boom, boom. Go down here. I think we're about done here, but I'm going to do some blending mode stuff here. And then we're about to wrap this up here. I still got to fix this gun. Yeah, I haven't watched Invincible yet, but it's on my list. Perhaps this weekend. We will see. We will see. Okay, groomsman, this guy. What did we do for you? Are you sure your lines are black? Thought they were like a purple. Guess not. Okay. So we go here. Let's select. Let's make sure. All right. Now, the reason I have this one up is because it just lets me see what the hell everything's looking like. What I think I'm going to do with this one, though, is we're going to merge all of this stuff together. And hopefully it all plays well. Sometimes when you're merging a whole bunch of layers, it gets a little weird. We got lucky. I'm going to duplicate that. And I'm actually going to blur some of this up here. Sort of like what we were just talking about. How I do things right now. I'm just not drawing, adding that texture. It's going to chug a bit like you can see because this is an 11 by 17 big boy. Overlay, we'll put that at 30%. How's that look? Okay, and then I think we'll duplicate. I just want to see how this looks. We're going to put that on screen, 30%. Might be a bit too soft here. Yeah, this one might be the way to go. Okay, we're going to go there. I'm just going to do some special effects. I love calling it special effects. It makes it sound like it's special. Actually, you know what? Let's just paint it on. Let's see how this looks. So we'll go to hard light. We're going to start off with some red airbrush. Okay, hard light is not what we want. Is it just screen? No, overlay. It's always one of these ones. Screen. Get that nice hot red. Back to that hot red, guys. I'm just going to put a little in here too. Didn't really do anything. All right, now we're going to keep just going up here. We're going to keep creeping till we get to yellow. At least maybe it feels a little bit more like he's shooting now. I just want to see something if we add like a... Nah. I don't want to go too crazy. Yeah, I know, these groomsmen are super fancy, huh? Alright, and then the very last thing we do, because I've already spent too much time on it, and I think it is fine. This hot red at the bottom, I don't see I'm already getting in there. I think I'm just going to drown that out. I don't think I like that much. Might be a little better like that. Is we're going to go layer, new correction layer. This is what I do all the time. It's a color balance layer. Now what I'm trying to do is whatever the hottest color is, we want to go there. So it's usually yellows and reds. That's usually how I go with it. And so the shadows are the opposite. So yellow and red, the opposites are like blue and purples, right? So it keeps everything consistent. So shadow, blue, we're going to put that to 20. Cyan, minus 20. And then highlight, you just do the opposite. So yellow is minus 20. And red is 20. And it just harmonizes all the colors. It might be a little hard to see, or maybe it's getting a little too... You see how it's like it's pushing things a little bit? Sometimes it's a little too, garish. Like this one feels a little bit like that. So I'm going to bring it back down to 50. Let's just see how that... Yeah, I think that's all right. I think that's it. All right. I like the idea of it being a little bit space horror-ish. I know the aliens are goofy. I know that. But it adds a little something to it. And I think maybe the last thing we do, even though I keep saying it's the last thing we do, I'm going to make one more layer, and we're going to grab white of all colors, the most dangerous of colors. We're going to grab our Kirby brush, and I'm just going to see. I'm going to put some little white Kirby dots here. Should actually probably, you know what? Let's just put white inside the barrel like it's shooting. That makes more sense. Let's do some Kirby dots. Right. Maybe we'll bring out some purple here. I don't like that. Just dip it around there. Boop, 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 boop. Just for like, it's like a shotgun in space or something. Yeah, because I clearly want your eye to look down there, but we also need some of this. So let's click this color. I'm just gonna bring it up, and we'll go large inking. I just want to make sure we get like a nice highlight in here. I don't want you to not look at his eye. It can be a little hard though. There we go. Do you think his visor should have some of that yellow hue and reflection? Probably. Probably should. I mean, if I was coloring this I'll say a professional with lighting that matters, there should probably here. I'll show you very quickly because I really got to get going here. Like this yellow over here, he should definitely have like some. Right, like there should be. I'm just using an airbrush here because it's easy to see. Should be some yellow from that sun back there. Like you're saying, there's probably some yellow on the visor for that really get shot. Maybe we've got like some, I don't know, some evil red kind of coming on this side too. You know what I mean? Like reflective lights and stuff. I know this looks absolutely disgusting right now, but yes, you are right. There should be probably something. But I'm not going to do it. I'm going to be bad. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys' time. I don't know if I'll be streaming again after lunch here. It looks like it's getting to that point. We're going to start lunch over here soon. But if there is another stream today, I'll see you guys then. If there's not, well, thank you for participating or watching after the fact. If you'd like to watch more, tentatively right now, every other Friday is when we'll be streaming. So what I'll try to do is put something on the channel so you can set the reminder. I've seen other channels do that. That way you guys, or if you're not subscribed or following, you won't get like all of a sudden on a Friday we're streaming. But so you can plan for it in case you wanted to be here and shoot the shit with everybody. That'd be cool too. Yeah, I think that's about it. There might be other miscellaneous streams at nighttime when we're doing Patreon stuff. But if there's not, feel free to head on over to jonathanrector.com. There's links all over the place. You guys can follow me. You guys know all those stories. Or there's even links. Imagine this. Here on YouTube, there's a comment or a description box under a video. There's links. You can click all those links. Okay? So if you want to be on a click frenzy, by all means do so. But anyway, if I don't see you guys or hear from you, have a great weekend. Take care. And we still need a new outro. But I'm still going to keep going with keep reading comics, keep making comics, even though we're not really doing comics anymore. Anyway, take care, guys. Bye-bye.